Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes, I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Living wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Damn it, God, damn it.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure, okay. No, 100% fine. That match was sick. It was fun. It was fun. It was a lot.
What do we got? Super Dave, Pro Wrestle Clips. Tony Khan has Camille and Megan Bain sitting at home being paid since 2023 for nothing. Come on now. It's not going to be the pod calling some kettle black on that one. Truth is the truth. Becker was more over than Monet. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm reading slow. Becker was more over than Monet and is going to the big times. Absolutely. And I said that. I think I covered that show. In fact, I know we did. And I pointed out, I'm going to go back and listen to my own comments. But I did make a mental note. And I think I did point out that I thought she looked really good because I had never seen her before. And now that you pointed out, I don't want to say she looked better than Mercedes, but I think the expectation was a little higher for Mercedes, obviously. And perhaps Stephanie exceeded hers and perhaps Mercedes didn't. That's my take on it.
Hey, it's Becca, bitch.
I'm not doing shit.
Face card, $1 million. Chase you down, cops and robbers. You've been dodging me, I think that's really odd. You're a demon, bitch, I'm a god.
One punch and I knocked you out. One punch and you're on the ground. Knock the guard right out of your mouth. Give them something to talk about. One kick and you're on the ground. One kick and I knocked you out. Try to keep up, kid. I'm the queen of this shit, and you're just mid. Your outfit, really mid. You're an NPC, I'm that main bitch. I'll take you shopping, get those toenails did, cause you're flopping. I'll fix your style, fix your hair, fix your stinky feet. You'll look a little bit better when you're getting your ass beat. I'm so Mother Teresa, I keep it frank like my name is Lisa.
scariest thing about you is those nasty feet getting near this beautiful face. Honey, you can kick me all you want. I'm gonna get right back up and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Exactly. One punch and I knock you out. One punch and you're on the ground. Knock the guard right out of your mouth. Give them something to talk about. One kick and you're on the ground. One kick and I knock you out. Try to keep up, kid. I'm the king of this shit and you're just mid. Exactly. I'm the king of this shit and you're just mid. I'm the queen of this shit. Exactly. And honey, you're just mid. Yeah, wax on, wax off type shit. I'm about to teach you a lesson.
So, hairline. I have Paul London imitating Aubrey.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Because we have just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing Meltzer. You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We have just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me out of my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye. Boom.
You got to run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But, you got to promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be around like my favorite movie. Time. So great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guys, Tony Khan.
Keep themselves safe.
Ooh, what's happening, folks? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah. I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. Yeah. And you, of course, are the beautiful PWT universe. And we're all gathered here on this Wednesday for another Tony Khan major announcement. I have an exclusive, guys. I know I'm going to spoil the announcement. Ready? That Sicko who kept people in his basement is taking John Moxley on one-on-one in a Texas death match tonight.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
No. How you guys doing? What's up? I'm Phil Marks. I'm here. We made it, folks. Hope you all have been having a lovely, lovely week, enjoying the fall weather, hopefully getting in the spooky season a little bit. I know I certainly have been. So I appreciate you guys as everybody files in. We have a jam-packed show, okay? We have Tony Khan's major announcement or important announcement or whatever. We also have some last-minute Tony Khan cringe, okay? Him and Renee Moxley Good, which we're going to take a look at. Masha Slamovich has been canceled. It's not getting a lot of traction because there's been other news, but she is like been pulled off events and is being investigated and stuff. We're going to get into that. Jazmyn Nyx got fired / quit / at the time of me titling this stream, I didn't quite exactly know. She didn't post her video yet. And so we just went with fired. And there's a Sicko story. And we're going to get into all of that. Guys, the replay of this show will be over on my other channel, youtube.com / prowrestletimes. Okay, if you're a member, it's live right now over there, but the replay will be over there. And what else will be over there is a podcast, PWT Podcast episode 100. Okay, so we're almost at 200 of the live show, but episode 100 of PWT Podcast I recorded last night. Okay, and it was with my friend Alfred Konowa, and man, we had an absolute blast. That will be out tomorrow morning for you guys. And yeah, PWT 100. Make sure you guys all premiere it over on youtube.com / @prowrestletimes. Okay, that's my other channel. And yeah, make sure you're subbed to both if you don't mind. What else are my plugs here? Phil Marks Out over on my channel where I talk pop culture and all of that stuff. Me and Christian Blatt from Who Are These Broadcasters? Blattcast. He also he does a bunch of shit. Okay, he talks about this show he does. He produced that has like all these rock and roll legends on it and shit. He was saying Danzig was on there. Fucking rules. But yeah, we reacted to movie trailers. Phil Marks Out about movie trailers, first edition. Okay, and we reacted to Mandalorian and Grogu trailer as the main event. But it's less than an hour long of us reacting to like 5 or 6 movie trailers. If you guys are into that, go and check that out. Okay, appreciate you guys for being here. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you run the likes up. Make sure you guys become a member. Make sure you guys super chat in. Make sure you guys join for 99 cents. You get membership over on the member shows. Member Mondays are fun. We did like a lengthy WWE news segment, and we watched in full Pro Wrestling Bits' Dave Meltzer's like Deadly Impact and breaking down, Alfred does a great job of breaking down each of the 5-star merchants in history leading up to Fletcher, and it's a great piece. We fapped it for a very special Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. You guys don't want to miss that, so make sure you become a member, gift a membership, some shit like that. Also, TNA and NXT, Alfred and I, we cover, we talk about his feud with Ricochet, the WWE versus AEW war. What else? We talk some stand-up comedy too, a little bit of that, but we also dive deep into like the TNA NXT war, what it means for both companies, and all of this sort of stuff. And we talked in length about the Gail Kim Brett Lauderdale beef. So I'm going to touch on that a little bit. I'm going to talk about more specifically, I'm going to talk about Riho and Gail Kim. Because we didn't do that. But tomorrow morning, you guys will hear me and Alfred react live to Gail Kim versus Brett Lauderdale and their feud, because that's like a whole other thing when it comes to the deathmatch stuff, right? So people were jumping on her for the deathmatch stuff, and then she made comments about Rio, and then people jumped on Gail Kim about Rio. But this actually stems from like a couple days ago, and where she commented on some documentary. So me and Alfred going deep on that. Tonight we'll talk a bit about the Gail Kim and Rio stuff, but if you want the more in-depth conversation about like Brett Lauderdale, who, I mean, I'm a fan of, and a lot of people are, but he buried like Dutch and Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette got in the mix, so he's in there. So we react to all of that and more. You'll check that out tomorrow morning. It was recorded last night. Time Cop. Okay. And let's get into some news, man. We have news to get to. You snooze, you lose on the news. And yeah, we're going to talk about, we have a very special Sicko segment as well. Okay, so we have that guy who kept people captive in his basement. So believe it or not, someone dropped that in my Discord and I posted that, and then everybody fucking ran with it. You know, everybody got their screen grabs and made their post about it. And it's quite hilarious. We're gonna EFAP that video, and we have a Joey Ryan video to go, a new Joey Ryan. It was so bad last time. He like made me angry, kind of. We're gonna roast it again. We're gonna give it one more go. If it works, okay. You know, maybe it's a routine bit. We'll see. But last time it did work good, but it was like upsetting me a little bit. It was like, man, fuck this guy, you know. So I don't know. We'll get into that in a little bit. It's not a long one. Pause. That's what she said. Oh, fucking phenomenal. So yeah, let's get into some news, man. I want to start with AEW stuff right off Ripperoo. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Ichi Nissan Da in chat. Everybody all at the same time together. Ichi Nissan Da. For AEW news, as Big Bang Theory rings throughout the arena. So Justified, Tony Khan tweeted this out during All Out. Justified, this is murder chance for the coffin match. Darby versus Moxley. Stream on Max right now. This is the family-friendly show. Justified, this is murder chance. Jeepers, man. Doesn't even drop an in Minecraft after? How you get away with that? So ahead of All Out in Toronto, I wanted to watch this before All Out, but we just didn't have the time because that was a long-ass stream. But AEW stars give their honest opinion on famous Canadian snacks. So let's take a look here. I'm a fellow Canuckian, so I know what it's all about to eat snacks up here, buds. So let's check it out.
Like hickory sticks. They're like the bottom of the bag of chips. What are you talking? I want a whole chip.
I'm not going to lie. Hickory sticks are super mid.
We're in Canada, folks, so we're trying Canadian foods, snacks, stuff.
I'm well versed in these, at least some of them. I don't know if you've ever had any of these.
I never tried
Let's
before.
try this one first.
Okay.
Okay, coffee crisps, pretty bomb. But here's the thing. You like them when you're a kid. You like them when you're a kid because it's the idea of like, ooh, coffee. But then when you get older, you're like, well, this tastes like shit. I need a stronger brew, pal, a darker brew, right?
Coffee crisps. Big fan of coffee. Said that weird. Let's see.
Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty sus.
Whoa.
Pretty sus.
You see that mouth? Actually, I like the really like cheap wafer cookies when you're a kid, like the strawberry.
Yeah, I love those too.
Chocolate vanilla. This reminds me of that mixed with like a Kit Kat.
Kind of tastes like a Kit Kat. I'll give it a thumbs up.
That's how you do a wafer.
So they didn't even really give like hot takes, man. So poutine ruffles. Here's the thing. Nobody likes this shit. Nobody's eating poutine ruffles, okay, buds? With ruffles, you get the all dressed. That's what you do with ruffles, okay? You get the fucking all dressed. Sometimes they might have like a barbecue flavor or something, but poutine chips is like, no, we just eat poutine, you know?
Under penalty of deportation, eating snacks. These are poutine chips.
Ruffles, poutine. Oh, I'm definitely not going to like this.
Canadian chips are like ketchup chips, chicken chips, or fucking all dressed chips. Poutine chips, man, that's like gimmicky. We don't really eat that shit.
Dante had poutine last night, and he was in the bathroom for 3 hours. So I hope that isn't my fate after eating these.
It kind of tastes like soy sauce. It tastes like if there was a soy sauce chip.
Very gravy taste.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's good.
It's pretty good.
Now, hickory sticks, they're decent, but not one of my favorite. Like they're pretty mid, I won't lie.
hickory sticks, original. Julien's a la hickory. Is that offensive?
Which look like little French fries. And I don't mind these.
They're like a smoky. They're like a.
The problem is, yeah, exactly what Bandito did. That's what happens. You just end up eating too much, and you make a goddamn mess all over the place eating those fucking things. But they're not bad, you know. They're just kind of I don't know. Again, it's some when you're a kid, you're like, oh, fucking hickory sticks, and then you get older, and you're like,
whole bag.
You end up eating too many, you know. You start pouring them in your mouth, and all of a sudden your stomach's hurting. You're like, "Fuck."
They're a whole bag of the bottom of the chips.
Yeah, that's what it is, dude. Brody's got it. That's exactly what it is.
I'm not even gonna dignify these.
Dude, don't. It's
wait. We have a Canadian hero here. Come here. Come here, Cope.
Yeah.
Come here, Cope.
Like hickory sticks.
They're like the bottom of the bag of chips.
What are you talking?
I want a whole chip.
Which, like, the bottom of the bag of chips is oftentimes the best part, right? But when it's the whole bag of chips is the bottom of the bag, trust me, it's not the best part anymore. It's like AEW, right? You give me flips and pile drivers and through the tables and all this shit, and then come the main event, I don't want to see none of that. And then you're doing it, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess that's cool, I guess.
Also, what is
this would be cool in like an isolated incident here.
But there's ketchup chips? Oh, God, you guys are psychos. No wonder you guys are like the way you are.
Ketchup chips in the garbage. Amazing. Because I'm sure Max Caster couldn't get through this because he's a little.
Yeah, this one tastes like American cardboard. That's
Canada, yeah, eh?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Shout out the AEW roster there. So Glenn Gilberti had this to say about AEW. He says, the narrative on AEW isn't shtick. It's just a basic observation on a product that is only supported by a niche audience. If more people were attending their shows, following social media, etc., the basic observations would probably be more supportive. And then Raj Giri says, that's the thing. Dave keeps floating his narrative to keep hope alive, but the reality is that it's a product for a niche audience that keeps dropping. And that's all any of us are trying to say, but you just get called a fucking e-drone when you say shit like that. So Switchblade posts some numbers for All Out. Speaking of All Out, with the Mox Darby match finished, there are currently 2.1K people watching All Out on the YouTube pay-per-view stream. Do you know how fucking bad that is, guys? Okay, still 2.1K as Statlander beats Tony. Now, why do we bring these numbers? Oh, come on now, Phil. That's not very fair. It's YouTube. YouTube's the number one streamer, as we've chronicled, as we've documented, as we've discussed on this show innumerable times. It's the number one streamer, right? And as Switchblade has pointed out, when you have whatever numbers in the chat, like unless they're just uber sickos who like ordered the pay-per-view and then are also just in the YouTube chat to hang out with people, maybe that's a thing, right? But chances are, if you're in the chat, and I'm not sure, I've asked this question a billion times, and I'm sure people have told me, and I just pooped the answer out of my brain because it's sort of irrelevant. But okay, do they close off the chat to people unless you buy the pay-per-view? Then that only enhances the validity of my argument, right? But I'm arguing, and what Switchblade would argue is that like the people in the chat, the vast majority of them during the pay-per-view likely bought the pay-per-view on YouTube and are talking in the chat. So, 2K throughout, as trends would indicate, as Switchblade has posted before, I think it was for All In, they had like 9.6K people watching. And so All Out had 2.1. Like that's low compared to even, I think, Forbidden Door, Switchblade pointed out as well. He might have had a follow-up post that's in these bookmarks, but just the interest in All Out was at an all-time low. I just like the build was terrible. We're about to look at some of the matches. Well, we started this segment. Let's just take a look. All of a sudden, Tony goes, hey, man, in a world championship open challenge, the ROH Pure champion Lee Moriarty versus Hangman Page. Like, what kind of shit booking is this? What kind of absolute shit booking is this?
The best guys, Tony Khan.
There's no follow-up. There's no intrigue. They couldn't have pile-driven Beth Phoenix on this show to have me watch this show. Give us something to talk about. I just don't understand. And so all of a sudden, Tony's just like, here's this match, a world title match, Hangman versus Lee Moriarty. Bro, we can't believe in this product when you keep doing this shit. We can't. This is just repetitive, last minute, not thought out. You're sleeping all day, waking up at 11:30, last minute, getting yourself together, getting 2 shots of espresso, and fucking writing this shit out last minute and just wiping your ass basically and putting it on paper. It's not going to work. There's just zero interest. Why would that make? Oh, they're going to have a banger. Okay, what the fuck? Lee Moriarty shouldn't be having bangers with Hangman. The story of the Fletcher match shouldn't be, oh my God, and look how good Fletcher did. And then Lee Moriarty comes in. And then it's like, oh my God, look how good Lee Moriarty did. That's the story of every match. Hangman's done this 17 times with guys already. It's just repetitive and hack. And then the major announcement. What's the major announcement? A tournament, a title. Guys, if you're on X, there's almost 300 of you watching on X and YouTube. Come on over to youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Vote in the poll. What do you think Tony Khan's major announcement will be? Collision's canceled. 3rd hour to Dynamite. A women's tag title division, women's tag titles, or a tournament. And if you want, you can hit all of the above. Just write that in the chat. You can't add a 5th option, but it could be all of those things. Okay. Do you think Jack Harlow should let AEW use Lovin' on Me? So Jack Harlow turned down Tony Khan's request to use Lovin' on Me for entrance song. I wonder who advised him not to do that. You want to hold out for WWE, man, and the stars know that. Has Jack Harlow kind of fallen off, though? I think he may have. So I posted this. I saw this on Instagram, and I screen grabbed it. This is Tate Twin Brandon, right? And so we talked about this a long time ago when it comes to the Tate Twins and what happened between them and Tony Khan and all this shit. And there's just a lot of like fucked up narrative out there. Like, man, they posted all of their texts back and forth publicly, and then they deleted them all. So like, I understand if people didn't see them all and shit to get the context, but you can clearly see we broke it down on the show. I believe we read them all on the show, so they may exist on my podcast in some capacity. But listen, at the end of the day, when people are like, dude, the Tates no-showed on their event and Tony, that's not what happened, okay? That just isn't what happened. Okay, so there was them ask, just to summate this really quickly, they are asking all week. We saw the text, we read them. They're asking like all week if they need to be booked. They get let known at like the 0 hour, like Thursday or whatever, that they're needed in Canada the weekend coming up or whatever. They're like, yeah, fine, we're whatever. They get sent flight information for the first time ever in their history of working with Ring of Honor, Sinclair or Tony Khan. They were required to drive to Nashville. So they hit up AEW and went, hey, why we never have, like, that's why we live in this area. I think they live in the Louisville area. A lot of wrestlers do, because their airport there, I think, travels to a lot of places or whatever the fuck. I'm not sure. Someone could correct me on that, but I'm pretty confident that's why, there's a lot of like pro wrestler action going on around there. I digress though. They were like, hey, we always fly out of Louisville or wherever they're from. Sorry, I might be fucking up the town. Either way. We're not driving to Nashville, or we don't drive to Nashville. And then this is what happened, man. AEW told them, we'll get you new flight info. And they waited up and followed up until like midnight, and they didn't get any new flight info. And then the people are like, hey, showed and all this shit. And then, they were texting with who I believe was Mega. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess. And she was like, well, you guys should have rented a car, because they're like, we fly out of here and you guys know we don't have a good car. And these texts were all public. And they said, No, we don't. We're not. Last time we rented a car and we brought the receipt in to get reimbursed, we got like bitch stats. So we just didn't want to like cause a problem or whatever. Right. And it just seemed like a lot of poor communication. And I will say this on the Tate Twins' end. They're like messaging. They were messaging people from like from each of their shits. So that can get confusing, you know, like, are you speaking on behalf of both of you guys? Or it sucks when you're a twin act, you know, but so I will say that, but ultimately though, this is what it boils down to, like whether that was fucked, what they did on their end, like AEW and them, this was in the text. They were like, we'll DM you with new flights or whatever. And then they never did that. So like, okay, yeah, it's fucked. They didn't like, at the end of the day, if your boss is like, oh, I don't know, just go over there. And then you go over to where he tells you to go. Then it's like, oh, why'd you go over there? Essentially, they said, we're going to get you new flight info. So whether they needed to reprimand them or give them shit or whatever. Okay. At the end of the day, as soon as you're told you're getting flight info, it's like CM Punk, like, you know, CM Punk had to hop on the train. We're not like, well, it's unprofessional if he didn't show up at the building and was late, and if he didn't show up on time, would we be blaming Punk? We fucking wouldn't, man. They left him there. Someone said he was getting picked up. He never got picked up. It's the same thing with them. They were told. Now, they deleted this shit, and I'm sorry if I'm rehashing it. I know they got a fucking legal thing going on, but hey, man, that's what happened. So, and yeah, I mean, that's what happened. You guys can go back. I covered this before. You can probably just type it in on my channel, Tate Twins. There's a clip of it, of me going over all this stuff, okay? So they post this. They're supposed to take on the Outrunners at ECC. Now, there's more to this, okay? I'm diving in deeper. I got an allegedly here, okay? I'm diving in deeper than anybody else will with this. Remember, keep this in the back of your minds as well. The Tate Twins, before they jumped off X, they were like, yeah, and Dalton Castle's fucking trashed us on Wrestle Talk. Support Wrestle Talk. He like took a shot at them and they clipped it and put it out there, right? And they were like, yeah, this guy like damaged us too or whatever. And here I'll say this. I don't think it does the Tate Twins any favors being lumped in with Kevin Kelly's shit as well. I think these are two completely separate issues that need to be handled separately, but I digress. I'm not a legal guy. I'm not Stephen P. News, so perhaps other people know better than I. But keep the Dalton Castle stuff in the back of your mind, okay? So the boys here. It was announced that my brother and I were returning to the ring after being away for 2 years. Today, I was informed that Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling had removed the opponents from our match that was supposed to take place next weekend. Now, that's Tony Khan's prerogative. That is his prerogative. But again, all this bullshit you hear, it's Tony McCon. All that bullshit you hear, don't buy into all that. Not only are they causing issues to continue outside of AEW, where we no longer work in our personal life, but affecting the independent promotion, wrestlers, fans, and everyone involved or planned on attending the show next weekend. Yeah, that sucks. I also heard that like a bunch of people pulled off this show or something like that. Maybe that's bullshit too. It's just, I don't know. I didn't fucking I didn't call up the promotion and ask questions or whatever, but the Tates say, my brother and I have grinded for almost 2 years trying to get our life back from the hole they left us in. We're finally able to return to wrestling and make a little money for ourselves and try and bounce back. This dude has ruined over nearly 2.5 decades of one of the best companies to ever exist in professional wrestling, Ring of Honor. No lies detected, and is now pulling talent from the independents. I mean, he's been doing that this whole time. Just to get his way, but claiming his roster are independent contractors. Right, that's all of wrestling, though, baby. You know, that's what fucking Jesse Ventura tried to do in the 80s, bro. This doesn't work out for many people, but he says, or the Twins say, I hope he realizes the company he once praised about changing wrestling for the better for everyone is going completely backwards. Yeah, dude, Ring of Honor is cooked, and this will one day all catch up to him. I apologize on behalf of my brother in ECC Wrestling for anyone looking forward to seeing us wrestle and giving ECC Wrestling a bad rep like they did the both of us. I mean, that is a bad look on TK, however they want to spin that. However you want to spin that. And I just said, remember when folks said these guys just didn't show up to work? They've been dealing with fuck shit for years. Nobody talks about it because it doesn't fit the Fed bad narrative. And that's the truth. I mean, if this was WWE doing some shit like this, people would be losing their minds if they were doing that on WWE IDs and shit. Speaking of losing your minds about WWE, WWE is accused of buying out AEW All Out seats to make the arena look empty. Come on, man. It's always conspiracy theories. It's always a crock of shit. Oh yeah, so one thing though with the boys, right? So allegedly. Okay. So just something someone said to me. There's some type of blow up between Tony Khan and Dalton Castle, allegedly. You know, people are talking about it. Some sort of blow up. Dalton, of course, made his quote unquote return to AEW. I'm not a dirt sheet. That could just be fake. I could have just made that up. I don't know. But Dalton it just came back, and all he's really done is been in vignettes, and they haven't really used him. And I mean, he got big pops when they first brought him in, and then I don't know, man. Dalton's a guy that really, really got fumbled by AEW, I think, because I'm sure he had a choice of whether he wanted to sign on with Tony longer or go and try his hand in WWE. I'm sure there was an option on the table for that. And he stuck it out with TK, and he ain't getting used. And just remember, like, Dalton's willing to like call out the Tate Twins while they're fucking on TV together or whatever on Wrestle Talk. So there's some guys in the biz who like don't give a shit and will call Tony on his shit, you know, Jonathan Gresham being one of them, right? That's why he's super over with me. You know, he's a great wrestler too, but again, it's just conspiracy theories and no one taking accountability at the end of the day, and a bunch of backstage bullshit. AEW has filed to trademark The Demand, which is the alleged name of Gates of Agony and Ricochet. They could just be called Gates of Agony. I guess maybe you can just call them The Demand. And there's all these factions and sub-factions. It's just too goddamn much. But Ricochet at least is with two guys that I see an upside to if you push them. Tony Khan has an important announcement. We're going to get into that. All Out we talked about a little bit. And AEW Neckbeards posted a fan clip. This was actually literally him in the crowd. No. And here's just an ugly ass spot, this table spot. This is the moment because I had both shows on, and at this point WWE was on and Brock and Cena were on, and I just really couldn't pay attention to Fletcher Hangman. But as I'm glancing over, this was the spot where I'm like, okay, for fuck's sakes. Like, we've seen guys get lit on fire, coffins, tacks, and tables. We don't need like regular tables in a match where this should be like a DQ or a double count out. You know, it's just too much, but it's just dangerous and shitty, you know?
Don't do it! Don't on the table!
Can it be a good
Don't do it! Don't do it! No!
So there you go. Moving along here. Speaking of AEW All Out, there was a funny announcement, or story rather, not announcement. My head's flooded. What could this announcement be? But before we get to that, on Reddit, on the r/squared circle, a fellow Canadian posted this. AEW All Out, stinky experience. Please shower before events. And it's like, man, we really got to still be having these conversations. So this guy says, this total giga Chad here says, me and my girlfriend had floor seats at All Out in the NE2 section during 0 hour. We were met with a pungent smell that became unbearable. He has slight sensory smell issues, so I understand. This guy's like real poetic and shit. I can usually put up with something slightly uncomfortable, but man, I have not smelled something that pungent at a venue ever. was so bad we had to go to fan services and request any possible alternative seating arrangement. We gave up our floor seats for worse seating with an obstructed view of the ring, because an obstructed view was a better alternative than having to put up with whatever that smell was. It's one of the guys that Sicko had in his basement. He's got him on a leash. Coming from a trading card game where players will get disqualified at events for bad hygiene. I really wish that was something that would be implemented into concerts and shows. There's no excuse for anyone smelling that bad, to the point we had to give up the good seats we paid money for so that we could have a bearable experience for the next 5 to 6 hours. Please shower and wear deodorant. God damn it, man. Another one. And there's no way somebody took the time to write this well thought out, and they're just making it up. And there's been a bunch of stories like this from AEW shows. And yeah, man, even Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic card players and shit figured this out. Like, how have you guys not figured this out? Wash your ass, man. So Dave Meltzer had this to say, most seem to think it's Tony Khan's announcement, a women's tag team titles and a tournament. I don't know. He made women's tag title belts sometime back and said injuries delayed starting the tournament, Brian. So it'll likely just be that, right? Collision. Speaking of All Out, the Tailgate Brawl did 184,000 viewership, 0.04 in the key demo. The pre-show leading into, and then me and like 11,000 other people were watching YouTube and didn't get to see any of the pre-show. It was Renee Paquette and Daniel Bryan fucking talking, and nobody's like, oh, if you go to TNT, and it was like exclusive in America or some shit, the dumbest thing ever. And they had 184,000 and a 0.04. And then you had 2K watching on Twitter in the live chat. Or on Twitter, pardon me, YouTube in the live chat for the pay-per-view is what I meant to say. So I'm sure we could look up Google Trends. I would let someone else do it for me. I don't need to do it. I just know, okay, there was zero interest in this event. And yeah, man. I mean, well, people just weren't awake yet, Brian. Like, what is the fucking excuse for that? So Darby Allin is doing Darby Allin shit again. And he's like, oh, hey, I'm Darby Allin. Welcome to Jackass. So he's like on this thing and he's going to go flying in the air. Down, 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 wow. Bow, bow, bow. Take it down, 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 take it down. You're going to be dumb. You got to be tough.
Hey, it's...
I don't know, man. He's going to keep doing his thing, and Tony will just pay. Like, that's his investment. That's what to him, that's investing in wrestling. Let me just give a wrestler a bunch of money, and it helps absolutely nobody. You know? Let me just give this guy a bunch of money. Like, let's not sink this money into, like, developing young talent somewhere. I'll just give it to this guy so he can, like, break his back doing some dumb shit. And then I'll just take care of his family forever. I mean, that's awfully generous, I guess, Tony, but jeepers creepers, where'd you get those peepers? WBD confirms that AEW will be holding a Tailgate Brawl event leading into Wrestle Dream on October 18th. So that'll be a B-Day party Wrestle Dream stream for PWT. AEW Saturday Tailgate Brawl Wrestle Dream 7 p.m. That's not my B-Day, but close enough. Okay, we'll celebrate good times. But yeah, I mean, that Tailgate Brawl will do terrible numbers probably. Wrestle Dream will be on at 8 p.m. And there you go, man. So there's the official announcement. Speaking of numbers, I thought WBD doesn't brag about numbers, but first 3 days view count on HBO Max, Superman 1.3 million. Okay, so crushed it. Superman crushed. Go watch the Donner films if you want the Donner film. People hated Christopher Nolan's Batman 2. People hated those movies too, and were like, oh, they're fucking ruining Batman, man. Fucking deal with it, okay? This shit is good. I'm sorry. It was a good flick. I'm sorry Jor-El doesn't care about humans. I'm sorry. Why would he? He's an elitist alien. He cares about his son carrying on their fucking race. Sorry. I'm sorry it was fucking different than you hoped. I'm sorry it wasn't the same as every other fucking Superman incarnation ever, and it's just a slight change that makes it more interesting, makes Superman more human, which is something that people have been unable to do for quite some time since the fucking Superman and Superman 2, you know? And that was largely due to the cast, to Reeves, like, who really was, like, if anyone else is in that role, it might have not played out the way it did. I digress. Anyways, Tony Khan, hit me up, bro. Let's fucking mark out over Superman. So, speaking of Tony Khan, he announced that Katsuyori Shibata is medically suspended following his match against Daniel Garcia at the All Out Tailgate Brawl. I'm so glad. I just talked about this with Kanawa. I'm like, dude, Shibata's out there, like, you know, like, because we're talking about Okada. Or maybe I said it on the member show. I can't remember, but we're talking about Shibata, and it's like, what's up with this guy? Like, what is he going to get hurt again? Boom, he's injured. It's like, fuck, man. Like, why is he out there? Just pay these guys. Just set up a fund. Tony Khan should set up like a museum and like a Hall of Fame and like a fund for retired wrestlers and stuff like that and legends. And he should just put on a yearly event where he books whatever legends he can and just like, and then, okay, Shibata wrestle one match a year and you just pay or something. That would just benefit pro wrestling, I think, way more than like him going out there and getting hurt wrestling Garcia to 180,000 people on TV. Who the fuck did that help? To 0.04 in the key demo. Who did that help? MVP was asked about his comments where he said he has zero respect for Triple H. Here, let me check in with chat. Sorry, I see that there's some super chats in here. Let's get Fat Factor for 10 says, remember Meltzer said New Japan Pro Wrestling had millions of viewers in Japan and is bigger than sumo. Pockets ain't big, they sumo. Who the hottest motherfucker you know? I forget the words to that song, but you guys know. It only has 200,000 viewers. Meanwhile, 27.3%, nearly 30, Brian, of Japan's population watches sumo wrestling. That's roughly 33 million. Holy shit. No, I don't remember that. But Fat Factor, you always come. Fat is definitely not a factor for you. And you always come in and drop these like fucking sumo lore nuggets and stuff, dude. What a boss move. So nearly 30% of Japan's population watches sumo. That's roughly 33 million. Meanwhile, Meltzer's trying to say New Japan had millions of viewers, Brian. It's bigger than sumo. It only has 200,000 viewers. Holy shit. Did you just drop a Dave Meltzer's dump? We got a new flute. I'll give you the new flute because it's the Titanic sinking, folks. Okay, Dave's just captaining this ship right into the fucking iceberg, you know what I mean? So I started playing. Lincoln Hawk for 2 says PWT, the hygiene friendly chat space. That's good and goddamn right. We're everyone, if you're not, you get up and put deodorant on right now. Yeah, they should they should sell deodorant, should be the next like partner that AEW does, and I'm not even kidding. You know? You guys like that? It's Dave clutching Brian on the side. You guys like that? It's another fail flute. Undefeated here at PWT. Okay, let's get back into some AEW stuff. We got a couple other like juicy
the best
stories
guys,
here,
Tony Khan.
MVP was asked about, and I gotta say this, man. Shout out MVP and Hurt Business. Like, they put over Gates of Agony. So MVP did what he said, right? He was like, look, we don't we're going to put over guys we think we can help. And I said in the preview, I'm like, if he's honest about that, that means Gates of Agony are going over. They pinned him out. There you go. So You can tell he's just looking at guys like Jet Speed, and he's like, I don't know, man. You want Lashley to put them over? Or like, you see this Bishop Khan guy? He's like 300 pounds, right? He looks like he could beat the shit out of you for real. He could, you know, fucking, you know, or Toa Leona or whatever, you know. MVP asked about his comments by TMZ inside the ring, where he said he has zero respect for Triple H. And he says, I stand by those words. I have zero respect for him personally or professionally. I can't talk. I'm in my Brendan Schaub era. I can't talk, B. And when I tell why, the people will be like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he's like saving it for when? Like when someone passes away or when you write your book or something, MVP. Just say it. We know what it is, bro. It's that you were in the locker room when he was politicking and being a dickhead, and he may have said some borderline racialist shit around you. And even when Shawn Michaels was on that like Christianity kick, even Hurricane Helms tells stories like he was an asshole. RVD tells stories. Yeah, Shawn was still an asshole. Like he's still an asshole to me when I go around, when I'm backstage and stuff like that. So it just, it's just that, man. He was around MVP. There was a time when people are like, MVP deserves a world title push, or at least a shot, at least a crack at that thing. And DX were there politicking in triple threat matches with Cena, and you know what I mean? Wrestling Cena at Mania and shit. So it makes sense, man. It makes sense. It's something to do with that's stemmed off into more, you know, and that's likely why, because that's likely why MVP and Jericho don't get along too. Political shit like IRL, Republican versus Democrat, pal, but also like political backstage. Jericho's a notorious politicker, you know? So yeah. Anyways, MVP talks about WWE pricing out their fans versus AEW focusing on grassroots fandom with affordable tickets. Here's the thing, man. AEW's not really focusing on that. They were forced to focus on that. Ford Focus. They were forced to focus on that because they're fucking declining. Their attendance is declining. And even though they're doing that, their attendance is declining. So there has been an emphasis on profit with the increasing corporatization of one side without regard for the fans who help make the company what it is. I do agree with that, though. I do agree with that. Like WWE are saying, okay, the majority of our fucking fans are just going to watch the shit weekly, and we're just going to focus on who will pay the absolute most. And until it stops working, we're just going to keep increasing the prices. And it is wrestling at the end of the day. Okay. And that's what MVP says, though. At the end of the day, it's all a business, and that's a good point as well. It is a business at the end of the day, man. Squeeze the fucking, you don't throw the orange out before you're done squeezing the juice out of it. You know what I'm saying? Wheeze the juice. No, he's in the juice. If no one is buying tickets, if no one is tuning into your shows, if no one's buying your pay-per-views, then there's no place for you to do what you want to do. So you got to remember the business aspect of things. However, I question maximizing profit to the point that you price out those grassroots fans who have been there from day one. Yeah, they're going to get people begging for like C-list AEW stars again. So, guys, PWT podcast episode 100 with Alfred Konuwa's dropping tomorrow. But if you're listening to this on replay, then this might be tomorrow too, or the day after. But it was recorded Tuesday night. Time cop. And we talk about his feud with Ricochet. We talk about the TNA NXT invasion. In depth, man. And Alfred's just so great to chat about. We talk about stand-up comedy a little bit, but one thing we dove into was Brett Lauderdale versus Gail Kim, and Gail Kim versus Deathmatch Wrestling, and Jim Cornette getting involved. So I implore you all to check that out when it drops tomorrow morning or yesterday. Time cop. This is a clip, and you're watching this a week from now. Either way, check that out. However, and check out his channel at Pro Wrestling Bits. However, Gail Kim got into it a little bit with some sickos. Well, not a little bit. She spent like all day one-ish, man, just arguing with wackos and sickos about the deathmatch shit and then the Riho stuff, because she made some comments in the mix there somewhere about Riho. And man, did sickos go off on her. Man, did people call her... There was people coming at her like, Gail Kim, are you aware that Jim Cornette, who you praise, says that like your race of wrestlers dressed like schoolgirls and shit. And I'm sitting there like, what is Gail? Isn't Gail Kim like Korean? I asked Alfred, I'm like, is she? I don't think she's Japanese, bro. I think like it's almost, I don't know. It's just people just goof themselves up by getting so triggered, emotionally triggered in their responses, where they just like, I don't know. They just, the sickos never cease to amaze me. Some of the funny ones are in the sicko segment. And you guys can go, I could bookmark it all, but it would be all day. We'd just be reading Gail Kim's page all day, unless that's what you guys want to do this episode, right? So just go look at her Twitter page, scroll through the last 2 days, and you can see her not having a meltdown at all, but like engaging, like saying, fuck it, I got time, and standing on her shit. So what Gail Kim said, she criticized Riho, right? And the original tweet, what it said was, what did she say? So in a series of posts via Twitter, TNA Hall of Famer Gail Kim addressed veteran wrestling personality Jim Cornette's past criticisms of former AEW Women's Champion Riho. And Gail Kim said this: I listened to this whole clip, which I said I didn't want clips, but that's fine. And so here's the other thing too. People sent her clips. And she said specifically, like, give me a link. Like, people were like, man, Jim Cornette hates on Riho so much, there's even a playlist about it. So what? He creates content. Like, it's something he dislikes. People like hearing people clever rip shit that they dislike. It doesn't matter if I made a playlist ripping on mangoes because I don't like mangoes. What? Okay, who cares? Just because you like that thing. It's so crazy how people live in this world where they think like you can't have a difference in opinion. Okay, it's crazy. But anyways, the only issue that I had, this is what Gail Kim said, is that he made a comment about her teeth. I will say, and I haven't watched AEW in a very long time, but when I did watch Riho, and nothing against her at all, because I'm the biggest supporter of all women who want to make it in this business, but I did feel uncomfortable watching her because the camera shots would go up her skirt, and she was always dressed like a very little girl, and it felt improper. Now, for the people who get triggered by that, that's what it looks like, man. And that's why I'm a big proprietor. I'm a big supporter of when she returned recently and Riho, because Riho doesn't, her wrestling style doesn't trigger me. Okay. I'm all for like, if you make it work, you make it work. She doesn't do stupid moves. Her moves are her using her little size to like run and do like a ninja stomp and shit, I call it like ninja shit, right? It's just like cruiserweight psychology. She was there like power bombing and trying to do like Claudio suplexes off the apron and shit. I'd be like, okay, this is ridiculous. But she doesn't do that. So she does try to impart psychology in her matches. Like her versus Monet at All Out wasn't that bad of a match, honestly, but it's just the crowd was just sitting on their fucking head. They were just lifeless at that point. We were all just done at that point, right? So with me, though, I said Riho should be wearing like the jean skirt with the fucking, she had like the Tekken or like the Street Fighter look going, go with that. Go with that more. It makes you look more mature. And I do agree. Like, yes, it's kind of schoolgirlish, man. You can't argue that. And you can't argue if people perceive it that way. Okay? If you walked up to, I don't know, man, if you walked up to like 100 people on the street and you showed them Riho wrestling Monet, and if you asked like, what does she dress like? Or you just said, they would probably say like, I don't know, she's like a Japanese schoolgirl wrestling some, lady with crazy hair and a crazy attire, because what was Monet wearing? She was wearing like it had a lot of colors going on. I don't know. It was a really good attire though. I liked Monet's all out gear. It looked really good. Looked really cool. But either way, I digress, right? I get it if you're like accepting of that and it doesn't trigger you and you're like into Joshi and shit. But I'm telling you, man, that's like a morbidly online type thing. Like most people perceive it a certain way, right? It's why Asuka and Io and them move away from that. If you can't tell, like they lean more into the Muda, the great kabuki-ness, if you will, right? Like they lean more into the Aja Kong and that sort of vibe, right? The Bull Nakano vibe and shit. And why? Because that just works better for the American audience. I don't know. So Jim having that opinion, that's his opinion. He's is it dated? Maybe. I don't fucking, but it's just like, you can't get so triggered about that. And you can't try and drown Gail Kim with like guilt about, well, you like Jim, but look at what he says about Japanese Joshi wrestlers. That's offensive. And Gail Kim's just like, who gives a shit? 99% of people in the world are like, no, it's not offensive. Who gives a shit? Okay? It's like if people told me Canadian football's stupid or whatever the fuck. Yeah, the rules are different. I can't argue that. If you're an NFL fan, it's like, yeah, NFL's the superior football. I mean, yeah, I would say that, like, I couldn't argue with that, right? So it's just, it is what it is, man. People just want to force their opinions and force their thoughts and ideas into other people's brains and shit. And that's just like fucked up, man. But anyways, she says, I am also into very believable wrestling. Not everyone is, especially nowadays. And it was very hard for me to believe a little girl that was being portrayed of that size was fighting the women they had in that division. Okay, I'm not taking anything away from her talent. I'm talking about what I saw years ago and what made me feel uncomfortable. She looked like a very young girl. She does. She fucking does, dude. And that's why people don't like this whole like what Billie Eilish and Sabrina Carpenter do and shit. They try and dress like little kids, and then they do this like sexual innuendo shit, and people call it out. They're like, that's fucking pervy and weird. And then they have to switch their whole style up because people call it the fuck. It's not like this is exclusive to wrestling. Okay. And I'm not saying that's what Riho is going for whatsoever. And in fact, I defend Riho and I get roasted for it. I have since day one, but I'm not saying that's what she's going for. But when someone looks incredibly young and they're dressed that way, I mean, if you're someone flipping the channel and if you go, that makes me uncomfortable, just like if someone's flipping the channel and someone's getting sliced up with a pizza cutter and it makes them uncomfortable, that's totally valid. Just like if someone's flipping the channel and they see Rhea Ripley's pinning Mia Yim and her trunks are right up her ass, dude, and her booty's jiggling, and someone's like, that's too much. I don't want my kids to see. That's totally acceptable. And people are pulling that on Gail Kim, like, oh, well, what about the devil's kiss? Yes, if a parent saw that and went, that's not acceptable for my child, who are you to fucking argue that? Okay? But is it as triggering as a Riho? I don't know. That's all subjective. And that's all for Gail Kim. She's saying it is. Is it because she's shilling? I don't fucking know. It sounds like she's not keeping up with all wrestling products all the time. By the sounds of this, she's like, well, I haven't seen Rio since years ago or whatever. But yeah, again, I mean, I could spend all day on this. Let's hear what Gail has to say. She says, okay, I'm not taking anything away from her talent. I'm talking about what I saw. She looked like a very young girl in a frilly skirt and the cameraman was up her ass. It just felt inappropriate to me. And so Kenny Omega had a reply, and it was, I don't know. It was an odd reply. He goes, another day, another legend doing the splits on it for the yearly TKO gift basket. I'm a superstar. So Kenny's like, another day, another legend, in quotes. Now they're trying to act like Gail Kim ain't shit. They're trying to act like Gail Kim didn't help usher in the knockouts, didn't help mentor and train, and wasn't behind the scenes hands-on, ushering in an era of women's wrestling that we see in WWE today, that we see in NXT today, while your women are being touted as the best in the world in AEW, Kenny Omega, the women's division that you're responsible for. And these bitches, sorry, I shouldn't be saying that, but I'm fucking getting worked up here. These ladies, I apologize. I really do, because they don't deserve this. This is on you, Kenny. You're the bitch. Okay. But listen, okay, from one Canadian fella to another, the ladies in fucking AEW right now are spanking each other with pork chops and mashed potatoes and making out and all this type of shit. And then they're doing like hardcore falling through barbed wire, bleeding, fucking tailgate brawl. They're all fucking doing thumbtack spots and shit. stapling pussies and stuff like this, dude. Listen, man, you need to shut the fuck up right now. And Kenny, I've had your back more than anybody. More than anybody. You need to shut the fuck up about this one, bro. This is clown shit to even say 24K likes is crazy. When it's like, bro, have you seen your fucking women's division lately? That you allegedly are responsible for, dude. One of the worst fucking divisions in any pro wrestling program. Meanwhile, TNA's still crushing with what the road, the trail that Awesome Kong and fucking and Gail Kim laid out for these, and many other names, but laid out for these knockouts to now be what they are today. Taken seriously before even the women in WWE were being taken as serious to the same degree. You get what I'm saying? So Kenny, bro, you need to shut the fuck up here for real. And then saying like doing the splits on it. And he's talking about a woman. It's like, yeah, bro, you got a sick and twisted world of perspective, little boy. Now, what is your damage, little boy? You know, like, dude, what? I don't know if that's appropriate to say to a woman or in response to a woman. I just called them bitches, though. So who am I to talk, right? Almost did. I caught myself, right? And you should have caught yourself before putting this tweet out, in my opinion. But yeah, we have some sickos, though. They're like, Gail Kim still isn't respecting Riho and just disrespecting her nonstop. For me, wrestlers and fans should be inspired by her journey in AEW. Now, I covered this with Alfred Konuwa on PWT Pod 100, but Brett Lauderdale was like, name one memorable Gail Kim match. And Brett was spitting. He's like, look, man, a lot of these people like have this hot dog and a handshake mentality about deathmatch. And, but it's fucked up. And he was spitting. And then the last sentence he tags on there, it just blew up in his face. And I'm like, well, now I got to bury Brett Lauderdale because he goes, name one memorable Gail Kim match. And it's like, bro, now you're fucking up. Same with Kenny, a quote unquote legend. Dude, eliminating yourself on a fucking televised Rumble or Battle Royal and just going, fuck this, and walking out is the legendariest shit ever. Kenny, you don't have the balls to do that, or you'd be in WWE right now. Let's be honest. So you wouldn't even, she has more balls than you too, dude. Okay? And she is a legend, man. She legit is. If you just look at wrestling as a fucking whole and like the history books, Gail Kim and Awesome Kong and TNA is, the shit. It's what legends are made of, man. Those are the fucking stories that get told forever. Those are the matches people turn on and go, they show their kids one day, and yeah, dude, it's so whack that people are hating on her. And then Lauderdale also said that Mantell, Cornette, and who else? Al Snow are fucking losers or whatever, old losers. And it's like, you're calling Al Snow an old loser? It's just a crazy thing to fucking say. Or like any of those guys. Dutch, like, come on, man. Dutch comes from a time where like shit was way different, like way fucking different. Okay. And then I'm sure Dutch did tours in Japan and shit, and it's still obscure to him. He's like, what the fuck, And it's just crazy to like call people losers and shit when it's like, Brett, I don't think you're like, what are you pushing 50? How old are you, dude? And then Lyric Wrestling just saying it doesn't get much tougher than her, actually tougher than Riho, which is possible. And yeah, anybody trying to roast her teeth and shit, I mean, that's just lame. Like, okay, become more clever than that, asshole. But AEW star Kenny Omega seemingly responds to Gail Kim, and then Gail Kim responded to Kenny. She quote tweets it and says, if you're trying to beat around the bush and misinterpret things like the rest of the yahoos, let me clarify that you are wrong. Boom. Cooked you, Kenny. Cooked you. Okay? And you deserve that, man. Like, people are tired of you motherfuckers like getting mad because what people just voicing their opinions and shit. You guys just want to censor everyone and then blow everyone who just praises AEW. And it just doesn't work like that, man. Look at the ESPN rating for WrestlePalooza. Boom. Blew up right in Dave's face, blew up in everyone's face. ESPN rated it a C. Exactly. So where's the biased journalism? Your guys' turn. Dave Meltzer, WWE doesn't let any media in for the Saudi Arabia stuff because blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Tony doesn't let anyone in either. Alfred teases it on the podcast, too. You guys need to tune into it tomorrow morning. He teases a video of a project he's working on, and it has to do with that, the media and AEW and stuff, and it's a real compelling thing he's going to be putting out there. He's going to do a little, I don't know, one of his awesome videos that will surely EFAP. Maybe we'll invite him on to EFAP and get a more in-depth coverage. Speaking of in-depth coverage, though, and talking to the media, Tony has been taking to X to do like these live thank you AEW and TikTok. Do you guys remember that one? I put it in the music video like for the Sickos where Tony Khan's like making a video for TikTok, and at the end of it he says thank you AEW and TikTok. What? So here's another infamous cringe last minute before Dynamite cringe Tony Khan video, this time with Renee Moxley Good. I hear there's audio issues at the beginning and he's just standing there looking so goofy. I can't wait. So let's get into a little Tony Khan cringe here to end AEW news.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
We might have to, there's like...
Guys, I am here with the president and CEO of All Elite Wrestling, Mr. Tony Khan. Great to see you.
Great
How
to
you
see
doing?
you. I'm great, Renee. It's great to be live with you today.
Here we are, coming off of a...
It's great to see you. I'm great. We're live. It's funny because whenever he does these lives, he always starts it just a hair too early. Now, these audio issues, chat, I believe they get fixed, okay?
Monumental weekend. I mean, all out in Toronto, my hometown, was such a hit. So many things happened at All Out that I'm sure have big ramifications coming into Dynamite this week.
And it's funny because we've been talking about like, and I've been beating this to death. I've been like, yo, the WWE, what they do is they like steal the headlines because of all the shit that goes on. Like they steal the algorithm, and that's so key to them. And then Tony books All Out and he tries to have like 10 surprises kind of, right? Like, oh, Jack Perry and Beth Phoenix and the pile driver on Beth Phoenix. Like he tried so hard to steal the algorithm and shit, and it just didn't work at the end of the day. Like they shouldn't have backed their show up earlier. You know, Tony, don't ever listen to Dave. Always just go head to head if that's the case, because it doesn't change a goddamn thing.
But one of those things, you have a special announcement for us tonight. Can you give me a little teaser of what we're going to get?
It's going to be a big announcement tonight, Renee, but I got to make everybody wait until Dynamite. Dynamite's coming up very soon. We're just hours away from right now, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
We're just hours away from right now, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're hours away from right now. Time cop. Renee, quick, there's no time. In the DeLorean.
On TBS, the Superstation, or on HBO Max. I can't wait for this big announcement tonight.
So no teaser for me right now.
I can't say what the news is right now regarding the big announcement, but I do have some news, and a lot of it's good news. I would start with some news.
It's like Trump. I got news. It's good news. It's great news. It's great. It's fuck it. I'm not doing a hack Trump.
That is not necessarily the greatest news.
It's not the greatest news, but it's news. It's big news. Some say the biggest news. What are you talking about, man?
Thankfully, he's going to be okay. But after a very hard-hitting match this past weekend at the Tailgate Brawl, Daniel Garcia versus Katsuyori Shibata, 1/3 of the World Trios champions. We know Katsuyori Shibata is one of the most inspiring.
Holy shit, dude. His setup is so bad. He's trying to say Shibata's injured. But he starts going up, 1/2 of the trios, 1/3, and he had a match with Garcia, and Garcia's great too, and as a matter of, Shibata's really tough, and, the news, sorry, let me get back to the news. Shibata's hurt. Garcia hurt him.
Comeback stories ever in pro wrestling. The fact Shibata is wrestling at all is amazing. Truly. And the fact that he's a World Trios champion, I just think it's one of the greatest comeback stories ever, and I think it's incredible. Mm-hmm. But coming off a brutal match with Daniel Garcia, that pile driver and particularly that curb stomp that Daniel.
So Garcia pile drove and curb stomped Shibata on his broken fucking head and brain, and he's injured. Work or shoot, doesn't matter. Injured, and you injured Shibata from head trauma moves, which is what we know he really has, head trauma. And you do this with people's necks, and you do this with fucking now Ospreay's getting neck surgery. Danielson's fucked up, not cleared, still diving on people's shit. What the fuck is going on, Tony? This is insane, man.
Garcia used on Shibata.
So he did that for 100,000. He did that in front of 100,000 people on a pre-show that a bunch of us were watching YouTube while it's going on, not even realizing there's a match going on. And he's getting curb stomped in Minecraft and pile driven.
Great show tonight on Wednesday Night Dynamite. One thing coming out of this, Renee, is that the Ops are furious. The Ops want payback, and Powerhouse Hobbs has said he wants a match against any of the Death Riders tonight on Wednesday Night Dynamite. Okay. And that is going to happen.
Tony, why don't you do this on your fuck? Here comes the comments. Dude, play it longer than fucking 20 seconds before you pause and comment. Tony, why the fuck aren't we seeing Hobbs and Joe getting mad on the TV show to kick off the show and start going, we want a match against fucking whatever? Why isn't this the story being told on your show so I give a fuck about the match? This shit has 18.3K views, bro. And you expect us to believe 1 million are watching on Max, and you're not even explaining this to anybody?
For the first time ever
on the show
in AEW, a match I've always wanted to see. Tonight, it will be Powerhouse Hobbs one-on-one versus Claudio Castagnoli.
Whoa, okay.
It's a match I've always wanted to see.
Starting Dynamite off hot.
That's going to be a huge match. We've got a huge card. That's a big match tonight. And we have so much to look forward to.
Why is it a huge match? Why?
Based on what's happened, there's always so much tension between the Death Riders and the Ops. And based on this injury to Shibata at the hands of Daniel Garcia, now of the Death Riders, it will be Hobbs versus Claudio on Dynamite live tonight.
Okay, great.
And also now with
it's so confusing because of the injury from Garcia on Shibata, who's now a part of the Death Riders. Hobbs wants Claudio tonight. It's huge.
Champions unable to wrestle tonight. We know the Demand, Ricochet and the GOA were victorious at All Out versus the Hurt Syndicate.
Huge win for those guys.
Huge win for the Demand. Huge win for Ricochet and the GOA. Ricochet has said the Demand on a quest for gold. Well, they will get a shot tonight based on having great World Tag Team Champions. We saw Brodito retain the World Tag Team Champions in an incredible ladder match. They've been fighting champions.
I'm not over that insult still.
That was crazy. It was great. And we had a great chance to catch up with Brodito.
It was great. We had a great chance.
Thankfully, they did pass the medical exams. Unbelievable.
Thankfully. Woo! People are passing medicals here. Thank God. Holy shit. Could you not be like, he's laughing about it. You couldn't be more transparent. Oh, phew. Wipes the sweat from his brow. Thank fuck. They're passing the medicals this week. Wowza. Woo. Man, this... I'd be suing the shit out of this company. Stephen P. New, come on now. Oh, man.
Honestly. After that crazy match, and they want to defend the titles. They've been defending the titles all over the continent. They went down to Mexico, defended in Arena Mexico. They defended the titles in your hometown, Toronto.
And speaking of Brodito, like this match, Brodito rules, or like Bandito rules especially. He had everyone on their feet, crowds going apeshit. They go an extra 7 minutes now. They're doing double teams, and it's, what the fuck's going on? We got the guy we got Ricochet producing the match as it goes on, or whatever the fuck. He's like, I don't know who that was. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, some nasty camera work. This is weird too. Like, why are they filming so much of the floor? Why aren't they up more and zoomed in so we get the nice lights and the Dynamite thing? Like, why isn't it you know, like why am I looking at the scraggly lines on this gym floor, on this gymnasium floor? The worn out fucking the 3-point line, right?
And All Out, which was tremendous. And now they will defend the championships tonight. It's going to be for the World Tag Team Championships. Brodito versus the GOA tonight on Wednesday Night Dynamite.
I cannot believe that those guys are in action tonight. Good for them.
It's crazy. All four of those guys had crazy, great matches.
They're crazy great. Everything's crazy, great, and phenomenal.
Title fight tonight. Speaking of world champions, the world champion Hangman Page retained the world title versus the TNT champion Kyle Fletcher in the main event. What a crazy, great match that was.
Also surprised that Hangman was able to walk around here in Pittsburgh today. That was
oh my God, Renee, you're supposed to be professional. Renee, you're supposed to like get off of that topic and get him back on track.
Renee, Hangman's doing a lot more than walking around Pittsburgh. He came into my office and said, I'm a fighting champion. Whoever the best local talent is, whoever the best wrestler, the best.
Finally fix the audio. Fucking Bush League sitch, man.
And here in Pittsburgh, I want to fight him. Well, it might not be who we would have thought of. In my opinion, the best male.
Yeah, could you just redo that first 5 minutes, please? Tony? Oh, I won't stand for this shit.
Professional wrestler in Pittsburgh would be the ROH Pure Champion, Lee Moriarty.
Yes.
What a great grappler he is. He's been the ROH Pure Champion for over a year.
The longest reigning Pure Champion.
And definitely a great pro wrestler.
Oh no, the audio fucks up again.
Champion Renee, I think
he's got his thumb. He's got his like thumb on the little camera. Like, what's going on here? What the fuck is going on, dude? Like, it's legit high schoolers, man. Like, I could do this, Tony. You could hire me and I could tell you how to like frame this shit better, how to make it look cooler, dude, how to not cover the microphone. I'd go, wait, the audio. Bro, come on, man. This is crazy.
Recently with Lee Moriarty.
I did earlier today. I got to hang out with Lee Moriarty, his hometown here in Pittsburgh. We've got
oh my God, you can't even. Oh, it's Charlie Brown's teacher.
Like here tonight in his hometown is massive.
Well, it's a great video.
This is how everybody hears when Tony Khan starts babbling.
Another great fighting champion. Hangman Page after
this is what everybody hears. Just all the same old shit.
Champion Kyle Fletcher. Hangman's also looking for a fight tonight. It's a night full of huge world title fights. We also have a new women's world champion, Chris Statlander. What a great match. And Chris Statlander finally has become the AEW Women's World Champion. Talking about fighting champions, as we know, she has stepped up to fight a woman who is on a winning streak, another great champion from ROH, the interim world TV champion, Mina Shirakawa.
So, like, here's the problem. The interim women's TV ROH champion, Tony, we know is not going to beat your newly lamented AEW World Women's Champion, Chris Statlander, in a title match. And we know that Hangman's not going to lose to ROH Pure Champion Lee Moriarty, which is a match I think they already did. You are the worst booker in the history of professional wrestling. The best guy is Tony Khan. I'll repeat one more time.
You know, poor people don't like AEW.
You're the worst booker in the history of professional wrestling.
Fucking Mark!
Who also is, to say the least,
teasing Orange Cassidy coming back. Why don't you just tank your fucking TV ratings yourself? Why don't you just walk in the ring, Tony, pull your fucking pants down, take a shit in the middle of that ring?
Very, very, very close with Timeless Tony Storm.
Certainly, to see Chris Statlander, first of all, win the championship, win the AEW Women's World Championship at All Out, but now first day technically as champion with
match tonight, having champion Okada teaming with somebody who is not only in the same family as him, but also maybe his biggest professional active rivalry in terms of is there a lot of tension between these guys? Okada.
Listen to how he, like, you can't describe what the story is. Okay. Like, you can't describe what's going on. Okay. So for instance, Rhea, I'm just pulling one out of my ass here. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky in WWE, right? They were feuding and they are beating the shit. And this is just this chapter of their story, right? They're beating the shit out of each other. They beat the respect into each other. Like they've gone to war and had such classic matches, and they've been the standard bearers for the world women's title. And now it's Stephanie Vaquer, and they're both out of the picture. But Asuka returns from injury, and when she got injured, her and Io Sky and Damage Control were healing and cheating to win and helping each other, wheel kicking people and spraying them with mist, etc., etc. And now Asuka's giving Io every chance, like, okay, you need to go beat Rhea and move on and get back to this world title, or else I'm going to step in. Like, I get it, you respect her, but fuck that. And then Kairi Sane's in the middle, like, God damn it, Asuka got us here. Asuka is the reason Damage Control is where we are at. We kicked Bailey's ass out. Dakota's not here. Asuka's like the premier, like she teamed with me, she teamed with you and I teamed, and I'm torn. Like, I can't turn my back on Asuka. I owe everything to Asuka as the Kabuki Warriors. However, like, Io, you need to fall in line too. Like, I get where you're coming from, and I'm just torn because I love you both, and I don't have a problem with what you're doing, but Asuka does. Right, it's like fucking, we can explain this fucking story. Tony Khan's looking around, the same thing he said about the other matches. Oh, there's lots of tension here. Right, Renee? Oh, man, Takeshita and Okada might be in the same family, which is the Callis family, and we don't explain this shit on TV, but let me explain it to you now. They're in the same family, kind of, but they're the greatest rivals in terms of, me and Dave think that Takeshita is a fucking combination of Okada and Kenny Omega, and that's why he's Okada's main rival right now, because we just text that to each other, but we don't fucking explain it. And they're in the same family, and they're forced to team up. Isn't it great? Isn't it great, guys? Tell me how great it is. Jesus Christ, man. It's his greatest rival right now because there's tension, and me and Dave think this is what it is, right? Just so you guys know, this is a fact. They look at Takeshita as Omega and Okada combined, and they look at Fletcher as Ospreay and Ibushi sort of combined, right? And that's why Dave and Tony are just like, oh, and I like Fletcher, I like Takeshita as well, but Tony trying to explain, there's lots of tension. It's like, we kind of think we like that they could feud one day, and he's kind of like Okada, and we want to give him the rub, and we don't know how to do that.
Takeshita and they're going to be on the same team tonight.
They beat the hell out of each other on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, gruesome. So, yeah, they'll team tonight. It'll be great.
And
it'll be great. Even Renee says it. It'll be great. She knows, just show up, smile, and say, it'll be great, and I make 6 figures a year, and my husband makes 7 figures a year. Renee Moxley, good. Come on now. Dean Ambrose, come on down.
Teaming with Hechicero and Mark Briscoe.
Oh, he's teaming with Hechicero. Sorry.
What a win he picked up in the tables and tax match.
Yeah.
Just a bad guy. And Mark Briscoe represents, to me, everything AEW is about. I'm so excited. He'll be wrestling tonight on Wednesday Night Dynamite.
No tax tonight, right?
We'll see.
And like, he's the guy that needs a night off after that tables and tax, and he's wrestling, and Orange Cassidy's going to come back. Come on.
And the conglomeration have been trying to bring back that TNT championship. We know that
the conglomeration's the worst faction in the history of pro wrestling.
Yes.
Hologram kept his undefeated streak going at the Tailgate Brawl. And tonight, Mark Briscoe and Hologram are teaming with a mystery opponent.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Do you see that little cute little baby with? Are you guys ready? Oh, a mystery opponent. I can't tell you. I'll pass you a note. It's real sweet, I promise. One of our greatest characters. It's Goofy. It's fucking Orange Cassidy.
With a mystery opponent.
With a mystery opponent. Then he puts the thumb up. Bro, you could like add mystique and intrigue to this shit. Cassidy's such a goofball. He's 42. Why do you think or how old is he now? 41. Why do you think he's going to help your fucking television show?
Okay.
That's getting people pretty fired up too.
Yes, I'm fired up about that. I cannot wait to see that. We saw a lot of amazing things happen at All Out, so to continue to see amazing things happening tonight on Dynamite, I'm pumped about it.
Okay, you're pumped about it. That's about all I can take. Chat, let's see how he signs off and ends this.
And we'll be talking more
I hope so.
tonight on Wednesday Night Dynamite. Again, a great lineup of pro wrestling matches. And we'll be talking more about those in the hours leading up to this event. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, live on TBS tonight, or you can stream it.
It just cuts him off. The guy's like, bro, it's too long. Instagram, it's overheating. People are telling me it's time to wrap it up here. Jesus Christ, they can't even get all of his plugs in. He's such a dummy. Ladies and gentlemen, that was AEW news. Oh, man. Let me check in with chat. Guys, there is over 420. Smoke 'em up. 420 over across X and YouTube. Guys, if you're on X, come on over to youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Like, subscribe, become a member for only 99 cents. Gift a membership. You get access to my Monday member shows. You guys can super chat in. That's how you support what I do. Check out my Patreon or just hit like, come hang out in the chat. Chat's always fun. Speaking of chat, I'm going to check in with chat. And if I say chat 2 more times, that's 64 chats, and this chatted up rhymes. So Thomas Moore for 2. Tony Moore. You want more, Tony? Here I am. Thomas Moore for 2 says sickos and wackos are soft. Yeah, dude, we're going to talk about that in a bit. Thank you for your support. Fat Factor for 5. Fat is not a factor for you, says sickos defending the age play equals same fan base that saw no issue with Chase and Rance, a convicted pred, working with AEW. Yeah, that's the thing, too. They don't give a shit when Chase and Rance pops up or Feinstein or whatever pops up around AEW guys, but they bring it up when... Well, they stopped doing it because it just blew up in their faces, but they like to bring it up when they're around WWE guys, and they're just guys with access who are gatekeepers in the pro wrestling world, and they fucking have access and shit, and you're going to see people in pictures with them. It's not you can't condemn any wrestler on either side, but again, when people want to keep energy for one thing and then switch it up for another thing, we call it out here at PWT. Thank you, Fat Factor, for your support. And Cash Monet for 5. Thank you so much. Tonight's Dynamite proudly brought to you by a local public high school AV club. Yeah, dude. Oh, my God. That's what it is. That's what it is, and it's quite crazy how they don't have just a social media guy who's on the road with them, or gal, and that's just what they do. Let's get it in frame. Let's add the captions. Let's not go 18 minutes. Let's not explain our TV storylines. Who's there? Who's sitting backstage and not telling Tony, "Hey, dude, you need to explain this on the fucking show." Right? I want to see Joe and Hobbs get mad. Where do they text you this? Like you text Dave Meltzer? Jesus Christ. I acknowledge everybody who super chatted in. Round of applause. Thank you so much. And we are going to react to Tony Khan's important announcement. Tony could learn things from Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. I'm going to go full force. Let's see. Sonic Fox, Lee Moriarty, Tony Khan. It's just the awkward teenager from The Simpsons. It will be the end of the show. No announcement as of yet. Yeah, we're waiting in the wings. Don't worry. Over 430. The viewership's climbing, guys. Make sure, you hit like and subscriber. Check out my Patreon /ProWrestleTimes, where I'm watching Tough Enough, and you get access to member shows and shit like that too. Those are my plugs. Let's get into more news. We got way more to get into. Let's go. We have lots to get into tonight. Pardonnez-moi, s'il vous plaît. We're kind of doing it out of whack. I don't usually start with AEW news, but I wanted to get it all in before the major announcement. You know what I mean? Get it all in. That's what fucking phenomenal. Oh, go. Okay, so let's get into, let's just go with miscellaneous, okay? Because we got to tie TNA and WWE together because it's sort of connected, interwoven. And if you guys like pop culture and shit, check out my other channel. Today I dropped a video with Christian Blatt of Who Are These Broadcasters and AfterBuzz TV. I think he was on that. And what else? The Blatt Cast, and he does a bunch of cool shit. He's on Who Are These Podcasts all the time. And we talked about, we reacted to movie trailers and The Mandalorian and Grogu and shit. Anyways, though, speaking of monsters, and Cruel is in GCW. He recently beat Matt Riddle for the MLW Heavyweight Championship. A lot of people getting out of the Matt Riddle business, hey? And Cruel, the atrocity, Mads Kruger, who fucking rules, he is in GCW as well.
The hell was that sound?
It's not. There's.
Wait, Mose, who is coming through the crowd right now? You see it here on our camera angle. Atticus Cogar has no idea. This huge man coming through the crowd. Oh my God.
Now this guy could be Kane. Like he could be.
Who that is, Mose?
I know we've seen that too much. People, it's Abyss or whatever, but like he could be this gen's Kane. I think he has, if he went to WWE and he got in like tip-top shape, but he's been at it for a while. Kruger's been at it for a while, dude.
That's Cruel!
The atrocity is here in Game Changer Wrestling.
The atrocity fucking rules, dude.
We have never seen the body language of Atticus. There he goes.
Dude stabs him with the spikes.
Skewers into the chest.
The skewers.
And it doesn't even phase the big man. He just pulls him out of his own chest. The taser does not work. Cruel has Atticus. Oh, face first onto the door.
And look at Shotzi with the spikes in her head. Do y'all see Shotzi? Watch her. She got the spikes in her head.
Shotzi doesn't know what to do. None of us knows what to do. Cruel is in Game Changer Wrestling and is looking down at Atticus Cogar.
Was he here to say Shotzi, or was he here to...
Look at Shotzi with the spikes sticking out of her head, Moxley style, just watching this go on in Minecraft. The fuck is Jesus?
to stop Atticus.
Or was he here on behalf of Mason? There's so many.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
Atticus.
That fucking rules though, dude. And Shotzi just walks off all cash. But atrocity, Cruel, dude. He just the mask even. Right, and the look, and if you see the vignettes he does in MLW with the crew, they're called a Contra or whatever. That shit's awesome. GCW heating up. Scarlett. So here's, I don't know, I'm kind of making fun of this a little bit. Wrestling covers, they post clips and stuff. I don't hate on them. Cool account, right? But Draven here posts, Scarlett brought back the Smoke Show Destroyer. Oh, I waited years for this. Like, bro, who gives a fuck? Unless you're doing what Penta's doing with the Destroyers, who gives a shit? You know, it's all the guy taking the move, right? So, not to shit on it, but she brought back the Destroyer. Like, who cares, bro? You know. But let's see. She's at Wrestle Pro.
Still there. Destroyer! Scarlett with a Destroyer on right.
And I think we covered it on a previous show, but the Righteous aligned with Cross in GCW, so we were hoping. We were hoping that would happen. The Hopening. That's like Stephen King's next hack fucking movie. You know, we were hoping that it would happen in WWE or TNA or something, but nah, I guess just GCW. And I mean, that's not so bad. It's not so bad. So Talk to Me and Bring Her Back director Michael Philippou. So this is where the whole Gail Kim beef started. So the Philippou brothers have been working on this deathmatch wrestling doc for like years. And I think it's going to be a movie I think they talked about, we might have to make it a series. We've been filming so much shit. And I think it all culminates with like, I think Michael Philippou doing a deathmatch. And I think this is a spot from it. And this is what triggered Gail Kim, or I guess what provoked a response out of her. Her reaction was just her scrolling on her timeline, right? I mean, everybody's allowed to react how they want. And then a bunch of sickos just jumped on her, and it stemmed from this. And then it spanned into like 2 or 3 days worth of people spurging on her, and then her having to defend herself over like Riho comments or whatever. So, but yeah, let's take a look at this.
Who can
The music's gonna get me boom. So they do some of that superhuman shit, like through the glass, right? Through the fucking into the barbed wire trampoline or whatever. It is what it is, man. It's not for everybody. Speaking of for everybody, Mara Sade, who I think is a star. I don't know, man. To me, this one trips me out hard when thinking about recent WWE releases, but Mara Sade returned to JCW. So again, she just makes a brilliant entrance and looks like $1 million.
Go-getters improving your game. That's what she's been trying.
And she's just out there grinding, you know? So there's highlights from her match. You can check that out. Blue Panther just won the MLW National Openweight Championship. Look at this guy. He's old as shit, man. And CMLL is just running amok in MLW. Kevin Nash says he has an irregular heartbeat and he's scheduled to undergo a procedure to correct the issue. And I think we have a clip of him talking about it. So prayers up and best energies, I guess, for, Big Sexy over here. I was watching like all the Halloween Havocs most recently, and 98, right? He wrestles Hall and he just like walks away. Am I thinking of even the right event? Yeah. Either way, he just walks out of the match. I was just watching that one. And yeah, man, some of those old, we were talking about it on the show, some of those old Halloween Havoc set designs ruled. And they were just like inflatables. You see cooler shit at Spirit Halloween, right? But at the same time, for that time, it just was like the coolest shit ever. They need to do stuff like that again, man.
In a new health update, WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash has revealed that a secret medical test discovered a possible past heart issue, and now he is slated to undergo a new medical.
Oh, this isn't even a clip from, this is just them reiterating what Nash said himself. So best energies to Nash there. Odyssey Jones' legal team demands WWE hand over records tied to abuse allegations and termination. In Minecraft. No, I don't know if I don't know. YouTube's starting to lighten up again, and they're like reinstating some of these accounts that they banned and shit, because it turns out that the government was like, hey, you got to ban people and shit. Oh, go figure. Right. So, yeah, so I guess I don't know if they're loosey-gooseying up. But yeah, I don't know how that right? Do I got to keep throwing that out there when we're talking about, do I have to keep saying SA, or can I just say what the fuck it is when we're talking about it? I don't know. The top 10 for this year's PWI 500 has been unveiled. I'll just read them off again. If you care about the PWI 100. Now, in kayfabe, fuck yeah. And as a pro wrestler, like if it's a kayfabe list, but if they name you number one in that list, that fucking rules for sure. Right? But at the same time, like if you're a fan and you care where the fuck someone's ranked on this list, I mean, it's that's quite ridiculous. So 10 up, Will Ospreay. 10 up, Will Ospreay, Mystico, Seth Rollins, Swerve Strickland, Jey Uso, Hiroki Goto, Hangman Adam Page, Gunther Moxley, and Cody Rhodes. So there you go. Speaking of Odyssey Jones, former WWE talents Odyssey Jones and Zion Quinn become the new All Japan World Tag Team Champions, defeating Hideki Suzuki and Kengo Mashimo. Now, Zion Quinn, former NXT guy as well. So they teamed up and they won fucking tag belts in All Japan. So that's kind of cool. The Sabu documentary premiered last night in Vegas with producer Rob Van Dam and Katie Forbes in attendance. The film, directed by Joe Clark, traces Sabu's career up to his final match and passing. Early audience reactions are describing the film as a chaotic, raw, and unforgettable. The documentary is now streaming worldwide exclusively on the Kinema platform or Kindma platform. What are your memories of Sabu? Intense and insane ones. And I cannot wait to watch this. I can't wait. And it's on streaming, so that means you'll be able to find it somewhere, even if someone's got to throw up the link for the hot tag. No Stephanie McMahon, right? The fucking VPNs. But yeah, definitely I'll be watching this documentary when I get a chance to. And Carlito says WWE's lack of loyalty made him feel like a beaten housewife in Minecraft. But like, yeah, dude, a beaten housewife, that's pretty crazy to throw out there. But maybe he was just shocked by it all, and especially because right before he signed back with WWE, he was talking about I wouldn't go wrestle anywhere else. He was telling Giga Chad Van Vliet that. He was like, dude, it's kind of corny to go wrestle in AEW. Like, I'm a WWE guy, And then for that to happen and just no explanation, he's just gone and not on TV anymore, especially when the Judgment Day was the through line of every fucking show for how many years. And yeah, Carlito, he feels a little hard done by, and who can blame him? Maybe he'll get signed by TNA, but he also was honest and modest. He was like, hey, I was getting paid shitloads of money to do essentially nothing. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was miscellaneous news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So how's chat doing? Guys, there's over 450 watching across YouTube and X. Come on over to youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips and hit subscribe. I appreciate that if you're over on X, or retweet it at least. Okay, don't be stingy with the likes. Come on. Okay, so what are we gonna do next here? We have quite a bit to get to still. Okay, I told you guys, a jam-packed show, and jam-packed it will be. So let's see here. Tony, we're waiting for that big announcement. I wonder if he ends the show with it, because they're hoping people stay tuned in throughout. Either way, I'm going to react to it live, and I don't really care when it is. I'm just going to keep ripping through news until then. Now, the next story we have, I'm trying to think. We could do TNA news next and save sickos and wackos for after. That will be a Hardy segment. Hardy boys. So we do have TNA news, and there is some happy news, and then there's some very like, oh shit news. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, we should definitely get into TNA news here. How many of you guys watched NXT? By a show of hands, by a round of applause, how many people watched TNA last night? It was an awesome show. TNA invaded. Me and Alfred Konowa talked about it in depth. We talked about, this image right here. I asked him, hey, dude, these are like all ex-WWE people standing in this ring, though. No, we broke down like Matt Cardona, everything. So it's quite an interesting listen. It'll be out tomorrow. PWT Podcast 100 tomorrow morning. Recorded last night. Time Cop with Alfred Konowa. So make sure you check that out before we get into this. But, this whole TNA invasion, I think, has just been stellar. It's hard to pull these off properly. Some of the familiarity of some of the names. I mean, WWE's calculated in what they do. They don't want anybody running off and parlaying this into more money in like AEW or something. There were people that were supposed to be in this mix-up, in this brawl, or on the show that weren't, which we're going to get to in a bit. And we're going to see this all culminate at Bound for Glory, and there will be a TV deal announced. That's my prediction, my bold prediction. Fits into that 90-day window there that Carlos Silva gave us. And, guys like Kazarian, he's like 40-some, he made his name on the indies already. They're not worried about him. He's been to AEW, they're not worried about him running off and parlaying it into anything else. And they know how bad Cardona wants to come back and shit, so they're very calculated in who they put in the ring here, like a prime Cedric Alexander, for instance, who was just in the fucking company, right? So, you know, this show was really good, man. It was really strong and just a lot to sink your teeth into. Ricky Starks and Oba Femi are going for those NXT titles. I could see it being like a 4-way, Santana, Trick, maybe Ricky and Oba, winner takes all, something like that. Who knows? Maybe they do some shit like they did with Kurt Angle back in the day with like Kurt Angle, Benoit, and Jericho, where it's like a triple threat match. The first falls for the IC title, the second one's for the European title. You know, once 2 falls happen, the match is done. Like, they might get kooky with it. Who knows? But this is crazy, man. And they're pulling this invasion off correctly. And I've really enjoyed it thus far. And just look at this picture. Pretty insane, you know? So as we get into this, I'm going to play a banjo. Let's keep this picture up here. I'm half listening to FTR. And we will play a banjo. For this is TNA news or Trick NA news, depending which side of the aisle you stand on, which line in the sand you choose to plant your feet and flag. Speaking of planting your flag, Mickie James has done it. She is going to be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame at Bound for Glory. And they're pulling out all the stops. This whole event is going to be awesome. And I wonder if they're going to do it on the actual Bound for Glory show or if they're going to do it beforehand. I'm not sure. But round of applause for Mickie James. I'm a huge Mickie James fan, and I put her over so greatly in her work on LFG, and the show's gone just tanked since she's been off it. Mickie James Aldis had this to say: I don't even know what to say today. Thank you, TNA and my whole TNA family, for always believing in me and letting me shine so bright. I'm incredibly honored. I love you. See you at BFG Hall of Fame country. Is she a WWE Hall of Famer? She will be one day. But yeah, she definitely deserves this, and a big name, right, to put on the ballot and to have there. Speaking of popular acts and TNA Hall of Famers, the beautiful people, okay? Angelina Love and Velvel at Velvel Holler, right? Velvet Sky, hello, Velvel Holla. We were all hollering back then, man. Who didn't love the beautiful people? And this is what I mean. They were like the sexy group, and they were a tag team through and through. But they were like part of this division of women who could like really wrestle and shit. And now were they the greatest wrestlers of all time? Nay. But they did the damn thing, and they were really fucking popular, man. And well, like for TNA, they were TNA popular. If you were popular on a TNA level, they were, you know, at the peak, I would say. Everybody looked forward to their entrance and all that shit, right? So yeah, they are being inducted as a tag team, 3 women. And again, it's a star-studded affair, if you will, right? We'd love to see AJ go in there, but I mean, that's not going to happen until after he gets inducted into WWE's Hall of Fame. And I think the beautiful people and Mickie James, if you're pulling names, these are the ones to go with, you know. One day Hulk Hogan will get inducted. They should induct Hulk Hogan in the TNA Hall of Fame, or have they already done that, brother? I actually don't know. But here's Carlos Silva being joined by Tommy Dreamer to break the news. And again, TNA and their social media people and shit, they understand how to do this stuff better than AEW does. That's for goddamn sure. And they, of course, taking a page out of WWE's playbook, like surprising them with the Hall of Fame announcement and catching the reaction on camera and all that.
How important are the knockouts division in the history of professional wrestling?
I think we can confidently say the knockouts started the women's revolution or evolution, whatever you want to call it.
No other like company or just women in professional wrestling at the time of the
Wu-Tang. She's wearing a Wu-Tang shirt, dude.
birth of the knockout division was kind of like doing what we were doing. Like, hi.
Hey, Carlos.
Good to see you.
You
You
too.
too.
Well, I'm happy to jump on and say hi. You know, I think you know that I'm the president of TNA, and just really excited to jump on and see you both today, and really just wanted to thank you for all you've done for TNA Wrestling, knowing that every time you went into the ring, you had done so much hard work behind the scenes to get ready and always bringing your best every night. So I wanted to jump on and tell you that and say thank you.
Thank you. That's really sweet. Thank you, Carlos. I mean, it literally, like, I tell anybody who will listen, like, that was the time of my life.
It's so great to hear, and it's such a big part of TNA. But really why I jumped on today is because it's my pleasure to announce your induction into the 2025 TNA Hall of Fame class.
Oh,
what? Oh my God.
Great
Thank
great
you.
news, and we're excited that this will preserve and promote your legacy forever.
Thank you so
You deserve it.
much. Thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you. That means
Oh, that's
everything.
great.
That means
Thank
everything.
you.
That means
That's
everything.
great. That's great. Well, it's exciting. And look, we'd like for you to join us in Lowell, Massachusetts for Bound for Glory on October 12th to accept the award, give an accepting speech.
And damn, if they're just finding out, they got a few weeks to like, yeah, oh yeah, for sure, I can make it. You know, what if you had fucking plans that weekend?
It's going to be a packed house. You can then bring back the beautiful people for all the TNA fans, and just we can all celebrate together. So we're really excited about it, and
It's really great. So shout them out, man. Beautiful people doing the damn thing. Round of applause for the beautiful people. So on to more serious news. Masha Slamovich blames Akira for DV, domestic violence. In an explosive post-breakup text. So a bunch of texts got leaked. It's messy. Ringside News was on it. Masha Slamovich accused of DV by ex-Akira in leaked texts and photos. So she blames Akira for DV, and then he accuses her of DV. And we'll dive into like what actually happened there. 500 of you guys watching, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Like and subscribe. TNA has launched an internal investigation following allegations of domestic violence that surfaced against former Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich. So she's being investigated, right? And then it sort of comes out here that, and this is courtesy of the Takedown on Sports Illustrated. So TNA has launched an internal investigation. We take any allegations like this very seriously, super seriously, and have begun an internal investigation. At time of writing, Slamovich is set to challenge for the TNA Knockouts title at Friday's TNA Victory Road. So Ash by Elegance versus Masha Slamovich. This is 9 hours ago for the TNA Knockouts World Championship is no longer being advertised for Friday's Victory Road. Attempting to access the link promoting the match results in an error page. So what went down? Masha also was supposed to appear on NXT as a part of that invasion angle, and she was nowhere to be found. Okay? So basically, I did a little investigating. No, Ringside News put it together, right? They have these tweets, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or these leaked texts and stuff like this. And I know it gets a little greebly, but this is what Ringside News wrote. Masha Slamovich is now facing serious accusations that go far beyond the wrestling ring. She's accused of DV by her former partner, independent wrestler Akira. The allegations surfaced after Akira's current manager posted screenshots. So the manager's doing it and just fucking shit up, and they're all mad because Akira ain't popping and Masha's popping, or what? The current manager posted screenshots of alleged text conversations and graphic photos on social media. Well, that's not good. Hopefully there's no graphic photos here. Maybe we'll share this tab again just in case. I'll read it to you guys. Right? So Okay, the message began with Masha telling Akira he could keep the dogs because they were in his name. Akira's response hinted at a deeper issue. You hit me, you're wrong. Okay, is Akira, and again, I'm not trying to, is Akira a dude? Who's Akira? Is that like the person in the picture there? Akira, indie wrestler. Because, like, okay, it's not good for anybody to James Atkinson, known by his ring name Akira. Okay, yeah, so dude, if you're away from her and she's even like keep the dogs, and that's a reason to not see each other, like, you know, end it and move on. You know, I no one should put hands on each other, but like, bro. Masha justified her actions by blaming his words. You cursed at me. That's why you got hit. Again, cool to see you claiming intelligence and can't see metaphor. What the fuck? I fell out. Okay. Later that night, Akira sent a message apologizing for speaking up, saying he didn't want to fight and just wanted her to stop stressing. I'm sorry that I said anything. I just didn't want you to stress out further. Why is their manager leaking this shit? And it didn't help. Nothing I say is going to change that. And I don't want to fight. I'll just let you destroy whatever you have if you want. Good night. Then Masha fired back and said, great, maybe one day. It's Ringside News is giving their like color commentary, their play-by-play. Masha fired back with more emotional frustration, claiming he didn't know how to help her. Like fucking their little synopsis on the paragraph here. So Masha says, great, maybe one day you'll learn to read the room, or at least read me. That was the time for you to shut up or say something nice and comforting, but no, you tried to tell me what to do. It's my stuff and my life. You don't understand me. You have no idea who I am or how to help or change me. I'm embarrassed to tag with you. It's a work shoot, brother. It's an angle it's a TNA angle. She explained her state of mind. I've been worked up, overwhelmed, overstimulated all day, upset about a bad match, and feeling inconsiderate. But whatever, you still managed to make it worse and make me lose it when I was trying to keep it together until I went to sleep. You're supposed to be the one helping me, and all you do lately is make things worse, Alex. Akira replied he was only trying to stop her from breaking her expensive glasses. And he said, I just didn't want you to break the glasses you paid a lot of money for and need every day, Anne. I'm tired of this. Damn. So he's like trying to help her. This isn't, it's like a fucking soap opera here. I don't mean to laugh and shit, but it's uncomfortable, right, guys? We gotta, who's with me? This isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what we used to be, and it's not going to go back to how it was. It's not going to get any better, only worse. I've been down this road before. I've been down that road there before down that road. You don't want to go down that road. I'm sorry. And then Masha says, all you do is say sorry. Is it too late now to say sorry? You're never able to just do the right thing in the moment. I didn't sign up to watch someone destroy things out of anger again. But I'm still here. I clearly tried. So who's destroying shit out of anger? Is Akira breaking glasses or is she breaking glasses? I'm confused here. Where's Lex Luger? Lex, what do you think? I don't know. Okay, fair enough. So Masha says, I'm still here. I clearly tried not to take it out on you, but you kept pushing. If you had broken those glasses, you'd be more upset later and have to spend more money. And guess what? I already threw them away. I'm tired of this. I'm done arguing in circles. Got me running in circles. Run away, run away. Listen, man, just break the fuck up and stop. What's that subreddit r/breakup already or whatever, right? Like, just break up already, dude. And it seems like Akira is like, I'm trying to stop you from breaking your glasses because I'll break them out of my anger. Am I wrong in that assessment? That's sort of what I'm taking away. Like, Masha's like, you're apologizing to me for breaking my glasses or what? I don't really get it. It's confusing. These arguments should stay private. I don't know why their manager fucking blasted them out there like that. And hey, you could call me an asshole for covering this stuff, but it's in the news, man. It's pretty important, right? It pertains to, like, listen, when Seth Rollins' dick got leaked, don't pretend like you didn't Google it, okay, buds? That's all I'll say. So Akira's manager also posted photos of visible injuries. Ugh, grossness. Explain why is it okay to celebrate a woman who done this to her ex and have her in the top 25? Well, the top 25, what? Like, bro. So this is what I mean. It's like career jealousy or something. That was the vibe I got right off rip. He's got some claw marks. Were you trying to break her glasses, though, bro? And then she clawed you up? Because you had that shit coming, bud. And I don't really understand the story. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I don't fucking know. This is South Park, and I'm a complete and utter goober, right? But at the end of the day here, man, just break the fuck up. Why is your agent like trying to drum up more drama between you guys? I would say fire whoever that is. They clearly don't have your best interest at hand, which is what a manager should do. Is be a Niccolo Piccolo, a guy who will fuck an Ari Gold, right? Instead, you got yourself some dude leaking out your personal biz, and it just makes you look like a goof. You're in the top 25 goof category of the week. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was some unfortunate, some really good and some really shitty TNA news. Okay, so Orange Cassidy has returned here to AEW, and we still haven't got to the major announcement. Okay, chat, there is 500 of you, over 500 watching across YouTube and Twitter, X, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Come vote in the polls. What do you think the major announcement will be? Consider becoming a member for 99 cents. You get access to my bonus shows. You can super chat and check out my Patreon if you want to support what I do. Come say hello and chat. Everybody's friendly. And yeah, check out Discord and shit. All the links are in the description there. There's a little QR code here. You can scan that, go to wherever the fuck. I got links. Check it out. Check me out on Spotify. No, a million plugs. I hate when people do 700 fucking plugs at the end of a show and shit too. Yeah. Yeah, people, they'll each plug like 4 things. You're like, fuck. I just try and keep it quick and neat. But I really appreciate the support. And yeah, I'm excited for this announcement. We have more news incoming, I assure you, okay? And if you're on YouTube, run those likes up to 100. It helps the algorithm and shit. I mean, that's a friendly thing to do as well, or else Jericho's going to do a run-in. Okay. So we do have WWE news that we have to get to. And then we have a Hardy's Sicko segment there as well. And there's not too much WWE news. But yeah, Orange Cassidy came back, and I don't know if this is like the ratings boost they're hoping for. And what's goofy is that like the whole thing is they're trolling the Bucks, right? And they give the Bucks like shitty graphics for their walkout and gummy bears instead of tax and all this stuff. But then Cassidy comes out and it's just the computer screen like didn't load or whatever, you know? Like the fucking, you know, the title didn't load or damaged media or whatever when you're editing in Adobe. Okay, so at least the crowd come alive. 96 likes. There you go, dude. We're 4 away. So we're rocking and rolling. There's 500 watching. Like and subscribe. Obviously, she doesn't need the glasses. MLW Akira. Oh, damn. So that is Akira. MLW. Okay. So I had to Google it too. I'm just like not. I just didn't even know they're dating. I thought Masha was lesbianist, you know? But maybe that's just what her and Killer Kelly portrayed so well on television that I just like bought into the gimmick, I guess. I don't fucking know. Okay, let's get into some WWE. Hulk still rules, brother. So Kevin Hart asks CM Punk about the infamous pipe bomb.
Was that intentional, or was that just a moment where you said, I'm going off script and I'm going to create a moment?
All the above. I think, man, when you're an entertainer, you might be able to understand this. I think when you...
And go and check out the LOL Network and Cold as Balls. LOL Network rules. Last night I was watching the original Kings of Comedy. Kevin Hart owns the rights to some of these movies. He just uploads them to his YouTube channel. It's actually kind of sweet.
You're really good at what you do. And there is an element of ego to it.
Yes.
There is an element of like narcissism to it. No, man, I'm the best. Like, and you can respect everybody else around you, but you can know within your heart and your brain that I'm the best in the world. I'm the best at what I do.
Yeah.
That was me throughout that whole like 2-3 years. And I knew if I got to do things my way, it would be good and it would be quality. It wouldn't sacrifice anything. We wouldn't get thrown off the air. But I feel like I was part of that new guard that always had to push through, and you couldn't get through to some of the old heads. Nah, kid, this, that. And yes, it is good to have structure. I do respect my elders and I listen to
All right. Okay. Get back. Don't you see? He's
sorry.
Okay.
Wrapping up a good story.
You're used to that though, right? You gotta be.
Yeah.
It's like a Gallagher show.
Yeah.
Who wants to smash some fruit? Anyway, yeah, I just felt like,
speaking of old heads, fucking Gallagher. What is this? A Gallagher reference?
I was at the pinnacle and my voice wasn't being heard. The fans' voice wasn't being heard. So I kind of took it upon myself to just, disturb a little bit. Stir the pot.
I like what you said, and I agree firmly. Nobody knows what you're capable of more than you.
Yeah.
Was that intentional, or was?
So yeah, that's cool. I think the full episode dropped today or something. So earlier in the show, we talked about MVP's comments on Triple H, and Booker T shared his thoughts. He said, "I don't think Triple H is thinking a whole lot about what MVP is saying, man. Those guys are in two totally different stratospheres, dog. Oh yeah, as far as the business, shucky ducky quack quack. I fucking love Booker. He just says, listen, people are going to say things, especially when they know they're not going back. They're going to say whatever the hell they want to say, especially now having the platform and that voice to say whatever you want to say. Who was it that said bosses move in silence? It's Lil Wayne said, real G's move in silence like lasagna or whatever. That's what I'm saying. I ain't got time to be going low, man. Like Michelle Obama said, I'm going to go high, man, every time. Me personally, I don't know the beef or anything like that, but to each his own. So what do you think? Jonathan Coachman has a conspiracy theory that he was unfairly snubbed by WWE. And this is why Coachman and Vince Russo, bro, this is why they hate on WWE, is because they thought that with Vince out of the way, they would fucking be offered jobs or something down the line. I don't know. Coachman just feels snubbed. But he says, the fact that me and my team didn't make this package hurts us a little. We took SportsCenter to multiple manias. We did Tuesday interviews from SmackDown for over 2 years. But at least anchors that don't know anything about wrestling made it. Thank you, Trips. LOL. My top 5 guys who rolled with me, we know. Yeah, this is why Vince Russo's all mad about WWE, too. He thinks he's owed a job and shit. And Coachman is just, it's just sour grapes about, like, we weren't used in this package. It's fucked up. Neither was like Adam Cole. He wasn't used in that NXT package, and that's way more of a dagger, I would say. WWE Raw Netflix numbers were up from recent weeks for last Monday's episode, which featured the earlier start time. The show scored 2.6 million views globally for the week per Netflix data, up 4%, with 5.3 million hours viewed, up 4%. So again, like Dave is, they play with the numbers, Brian, and then they just say the real numbers, they could play with them so easily. We've covered it on the show where their minutes viewed was down, but the overall viewership was up, and that would have been a time they could have easily just fudged them, and they didn't. Right? So we just don't listen to that shit. Listen to guys like Raj when he just lays out what it is there. It doesn't even really matter at the end of the day. Like streaming key demos and shit are so much more, they just look at different shit than what anybody's talking about. But Dave wants to play that game. We got to fucking keep the truth out there and alive. ESPN Select, formerly ESPN Plus, is getting another price hike ahead of the streamer services split with the UFC at the end of the year. So ESPN prices increasing again in October to $12.99 per month ahead of split with UFC at the end of 2025. So does that affect, like, when, let's say, another PLE's on ESPN, chat? Let me know. Fill me in. Talk to your boy Phil. Fill in Phil. Pause. Does that affect, like, the ESPN DMTC or whatever the fuck it's called, DTM, DCMC or whatever. I don't know. Where's Lex Luger? So here is basically the end of the TNA NXT invasion. I can't play it here. WWE will snipe me, but it was just like a bench clearing brawl. The crowd's going insane. Femi and Ricky are staring each other down while everyone's brawling. We're lucky enough to have fan footage of it. And so let's take a look at this. Just spectacular. And then they had dueling even during the show and before this brawl, but during this brawl as well, they had dueling NXT, TNA. And I looked too. I looked in the crowd. I paused it because I watched it this morning, right? So I paused it and I fucking looked in the crowd and I kind of like scrubbed through a couple times at certain moments. And there were some fans who are exclusively going TNA and some fans going exclusively NXT. And then some people were just chanting both NXT, TNA. I'm not joking. Not a lot, but there were some wackos in there, like, you know, in TNA holes fucking chanting both. And that's what this feud has done so well is like there's legit TNA stands in there. There's legit NXT stands in there. And then there's people who are like, I just love what's happening. So it's working so well.
Oh my God.
And look at the brawls we're getting. Like, right, Ren was just brawling with Zaya. And then refs were getting laid out too. So Vicky Derico, you see, at the end of the thing, like refs were getting laid out. Like TNA people didn't give a fuck. They're just laying people out. And they're just brawling. You see Zari and they're helping out Soul. You see Moose. At one point too, you see like Eric Young, I think he just starts like Javon starts throwing on him and he's just fucking selling his ass off for Javon and shit. And you're like, okay, everyone understands this assignment, you know, like everyone knows like, okay, you got to sell a little more for Moose. Hey, if Javon's coming at you, that's our guy, you know, like everybody knows what's going on. And the crowd, holy shit. And Cardona, too, when he walked out, man, the crowd saw him and they're like, oh, fuck, like he got a big pop.
Fuck your chance. Fuck your chance.
And look at that shit. Fuck your chance, the crowd. Fuck you guys. And TNA's holding down the NXT ring. Come on, man. You mean to tell me AEW couldn't have done this with ROH? And got people invested in ROH and built it up if you were really about it, man. He could have did that from the jump. He just fucked up and let WWE do an invasion that doesn't involve AEW or whatever. Before they could. Damn, man. You got to love that. Like, I'm marking out, like, hey, and Vince, where are you at, bro? No, that was, like, out of his hands, right? Like, people were just getting paid too much to sit at home. But god damn it, dude. I love this so much. We're going to get NXT TNA Invasion. I called it so long ago. So long ago. They're going to bring back the PLE name. And, I mean, we all can piece it together. We're watching it happen in real time, and we're all marking out about it together. But it's just like, it's got to happen. We have to still manifest this. Because if they fuck around and try and do like, well, worlds collide, TNA. Fuck that, dude. We want invasion. We want invasion. We want it done correctly, okay? And it has been thus far. I think I might have Matt Cardona getting big pops. Big papas. Put your hands in the air if you a true player. So ESPN boss, speaking of big papas here, says that they tried to land the WWE SmackDown and archive rights in the past. And ESPN started doing that like with they were like, they had ESPN Classics and all that sort of shit going on for a while. You know, they were, ESPN's sort of been on the forefront of like, yeah, let's scoop up all the old college games and all the old fucking da-da-da-da-da. And so, yeah, I mean, it doesn't shock me. They tried to get WWE's content in the past, but WWE played the long game, and look at how it played out for them. You know, speaking of playing the long game here, The Miz was asked for his dream bar fight team, and he included the Usos because they've already backed him up in the past. He also said Jacob Fatu in a later part of the interview, but he said the Usos are number 1 and 2 because it's happened. I'll never forget, guy, just like literally we're hanging out after a Monday Raw or Friday SmackDown. We were eating, and a dude just said, hey, The Miz from Real World, blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you something, the Usos don't play, okay? The Usos don't play. They've always had my back ever since day one-ish, dude. And to this day, so I will always take the Usos. Yeah, dude, having 2 Samoans in your corner, bro. Fucking Haku. Speaking of someone you'd want in your corner, okay? Undertaker. I'm going to read this, and I think we have the video segment, but I just want to make sure we get everything in. So he responds, because my response, like I quote tweeted this, and I was like, nice cope, pretty much, right? I'm like, listen, this is what the sickos say about AEW Dynamite. We still don't like it, bro. He pretty much hits us. Taker hits us with a just enjoy wrestling, y'all. So Undertaker's response to fan criticism over the direction of his 6 Feet Under podcast. Taker says, look, this is where we're at. This is the direction I wanted to take the show. Whether you like it or don't like it, I do this. We do this for fun. And if you get entertained, then be entertained. If you do not get entertained, you don't like it. This is America. I thought this was America. And you get to do whatever you want. So just relax and enjoy the ride. And it's like, I guess, man, but it's not going to make anyone watch it. So Michelle McCool reads some fan mail of her and Undertaker getting roasted. And this is actually funny and in good taste for them to do this. I think that this is a smart move for them to lean into it and not back away from the criticism, because the people who like try and pretend the criticism isn't real and shit, they just lolcow themselves, you know? And so here's Coattail Confessionals, and it's like read mean tweets. Basically, it's the bit that whoever, maybe Kimmel invented. I forget who invented the read mean tweets, but either way, fanatics, chill, bros. I'll try and pause this a bunch. Don't get mad at me in the clips later, okay? They're savage about this shit. And yeah, here's Undertaker explaining or reading mean tweets after defending his wife in the direction of the show, which is an L. It doesn't matter. Tony Khan wants to take Dynamite in this bullshit direction. We don't fucking like it. Undertaker, we don't like this version of 6 Feet Deep or whatever. And you're going to have to deal with that, bro.
Please, this take your wife to work day needs to stop.
Take your wife to work day? True that.
It's the only chance I get to see him, people.
Oh, my goodness. Will you follow me?
And then she says it's the only chance I get to see him, people, is at work. And that is kind of shitty, too, if he's always traveling around still.
I know. I can't help it. Those coattails are long. It says, Undertaker. Undertaker is the husband that brings his wife on the boys' golfing trip. Hey, look, if you can use me for a women's tee, you know I can drive the ball. Maybe that's what they meant.
I'm sure that's what they meant.
They're like, I bet she's a good golfer.
Yeah.
That's probably what they meant. Thanks, Matty Ice.
Yeah.
I can actually drive a ball really far.
Yeah.
Your neck is so weird and bony. You look like a failed
Oh, no. Oh, no. Boom. Roasted. Oh, no.
I'm not even done yet. Hang on. It gets better. Your neck is... Your neck is so weird and bony. You look like a failed attempt at someone restoring a corpse.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't even know what it means. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Your neck is jacked up, but no, I meant like for real, it's jacked up.
Like bony and weird? Or
no,
like I can't move it
like
to
it
the side?
doesn't. It's like mine. It doesn't
Jesus
look well.
Christ, your neck's all bony and weird. Just called her Tales of the Crypt.
Yeah. Preston Saguaro 520. You know what he said?
No.
He said he truly believes that The Undertaker is a good guy at heart. But he gives his wife too much. I could never be married to a woman who wants to have control over everything. And furthermore, I would tell her no.
Wow.
We need to.
Here's the thing, man. Like, it just was a better pod before. So like, I don't care if he wants his wife around and everything, but when it's affecting like LFG and the show was better before she was on, yeah, fans are allowed to have a goddamn reaction to that, you know, and then no longer like, it's not no longer like, personally, I get it, Taker, but listen, it's fucking up these shows though. So at some point you got to be like, all right, maybe, you know, and hey, it's his pod. If he wants to do it with his wife, that's great. Let him do that. But then when it bleeds over to like LFG and other things, I mean, then it's kind of out of your hands, right?
Talk about how you didn't book me right when I was working. I mean, couldn't you have gotten girls more time?
That's the
like, as far as fans hating on it, it's out of your hands of like, well, just come on, guys. It's like, yeah, you understand, right? I want to be with my wife and shit. It's like, yeah, but you know, you expect me to watch this fucking show, right?
That's the funniest part of all of these,
because I would have asked for a lot.
accusations
Exactly.
and
Accusations and shit. Accusations. At least they addressed it, but just don't lolcow yourselves like responding to the shit. Don't let it consume you. Speaking of consuming you, one thing I always let consume me before we get into our main event WWE story, which I want to save for last. It is Ren's Day. It's also Rusev Day. But this is PWT Ren's Day edition of PWT. Let's check in with Ren and Charles Dempsey here. And I think we got an answer. I was asking, I was like, are they dating in real life and shit? I think they are. I think we figured it out, which you think I'd know, but you don't really know what's real and not with Ren because she just does her shtick so well. But besides all of that, ladies and gentlemen, twos in the chat, peace signs in the chat for Ren's Day.
Hey guys, happy Ren's Day. So today we have
Charlie Dempsey.
Charles. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get to the questions because this one's a really good one. I promise this time. It's not a setup. Who's most likely to use brass knuckles? Charles or Ren?
You.
Me?
Yeah, I think you could use the advantage of your current
No, like who would
win-lose streak.
That was rude.
Charlie. All right, Dad. Why don't you ask him the question? Sorry, what?
He's so fucking funny. God damn it.
What do you mean get off? Why don't you just come on? Can you read that? He's got one job to do and he's wearing makeup. I don't know what to tell you. You let anyone in here nowadays? Yeah. There's the question.
Fucking bug eyes, man.
Brass knuckles. Yeah. I hope you wouldn't lower yourself to such devious tactics. I brought you up to be a gentleman, a sportsman. It's nice meeting you.
Yeah. Bye, Dad.
I know that guy.
She's like starstruck by fucking Regal. That is hilarious. Okay, let me check in with chat quick before we get into our main event WWE story. Okay. Thomas Moore 42 says Orange Cassidy is a goofball. Right, you
Wrestling's
are.
not fake!
You are absolutely right, Thomas Moore. I appreciate that. Ed Brown has been a member for 17 good goddamn months. That is
Acknowledge me.
Guys, there's 530 of you watching across YouTube and X. YouTube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Consider becoming a member for only 99 cents. You get access to my bonus shows on Mondays. Or patrons get access to, and there's like a bunch of exclusive videos on there as well. Thomas Moore for 2 says, bro, I invented accusations, bro. Bro, let me tell you something, bro. I invented accusations, bro. Let me tell you guys something, bro. I think, yeah, shout out to Russo and Jeff Lane. I'll just say that. And thank you so much. Round of applause for everybody super chatting in, man. I appreciate you guys so much. I think they did the right thing so far on this Dynamite show. Just if I can pop over here for a sec. I think they did the right thing saving the announcement for the finale of the show. I think it could be bigger than just women's titles in a tournament if that's the case. However, it could also blow up in their face. Like if it's a wet fart, which I think it's going to be, then it could just be ultra humiliating. George Capture for 2 says 106 good goddamn likes. Oh, I don't know why I keep saying. Oh my God, that can only mean one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, here to celebrate with me these 106 likes, a very special guest and friend of the show, triggered by George Capture himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let it get wild. Yay!
Blame George, man. George Capture for 2 says, sorry, 112 likes. There you go, dude. Jericho. Thank you so much.
Acknowledge me.
Your constant support. Loop it. Masha has issued a statement. Okay, so let's look at Masha's statement that she issued. Let's look that up right now. Masha Slamovich. I'm sure it'll come up. We'll take a little detour, circle back to. So here is Masha Slamovich right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a little detour and hit another banjo because we're back in TNA news. Time cop. This actually happened before, but I'm just airing it now. A pre-tape. So Masha Slamovich had this to say: up until the beginning of this year, I was in a toxic, mutually destructive relationship. We hurt each other deeply and in private moments failed to treat each other with the consideration and respect we both deserve. I take responsibility for my actions, and I'm sorry, embarrassed, and ashamed of the role I played in our relationship and the way things turned out. In the time since, I have sought help to reflect on this time and deal with conflict in more mature, healthier, and sustainable ways. I apologize to those that I let down, including my former partner. I hope he is able to heal. This will be my only statement on the matter. Masha. And yeah, people are coming at her with like past tweets. They're like, no, there's so much more than this, and you know it. Homophobia, queer baiting, absolute abhorrent things that aren't even public yet. Where's she done homophobia and then the queer baiting, as in what? Like she played a character on a TV show that's kind of bi, that's kind of gay for Killer Kelly. Their character is they're kind of gay for each other, but they're both hetero, but they're like kind of sussy, right? That's the whole vibe. I asked Killer Kelly about that on PWT. You guys can go back and check out the interview I did with her, okay? And it's like, what are you talking about? So now people coming at Masha, no, there's more to it. Shut up. Here's the thing. There's only, and I just give her a heart in support. I like Masha, and I hope for the best. It seems like they were doing mutual combat, which isn't fucking good. Okay, it sounded like in those texts that got leaked by the guy's manager that he was breaking her glasses and shit. They're mutually toxic, is what Masha said. I support that. That for now, unless something comes out and it's even crazier, but it looks like they were fighting each other. That, ladies and gentlemen, and she's seeking help, was TNA news. Can't even get the full thought off. It's a very nuanced discussion, a little too deep for this show at this moment. We are going to go back into the main event of WWE. So if you guys watched NXT, Jazmyn Nyx was laid out and she was beat up and she's laying there in Fatal Influence. Fallon Henley and JC Jane just look at her laying on the ground and they're just like, yeah, she fucking sucks. Only the strong survive. She probably deserved it anyways, whatever. So they just like buried her, wrote her off, and it seemed really weird. And people were talking about it, I guess, and PWI, Mike Johnson, shout them out. They went, I don't know why I'm shouting them out, but they went and I guess asked some questions, and they found out, they discovered that she declined to re-sign with the company. I guess yesterday. I'm assuming they offered her a contract before TV or whatever, right? And so I assumed it had to do with money. I just, for some reason, I'm like, we'll get into it as we go. But WWE wrote Jazmyn Nyx out of company storyline last night as she turned down an offer to sign a new deal with the company. Multiple sources have confirmed that she declined what WWE offered her. When her existing contract expires, she would be free and clear to wrestle anywhere she chooses if she wishes. I don't think she's going to do that. I think she sees the opportunity to do, I'll just say, exclusive content and streaming and shit like that. And something she already dabbles in. I dabble. And so let's move along as this story develops. Everyone's like, what the fuck, right? Jazmyn Nyx confirms that she won't be re-signing with WWE as the new 3-year contract they offered her wasn't financially enough. She made a statement of her own. It's a minute long. Let's listen to it. And she explains her decision to leave WWE. Now, let me just give my little anecdote, I guess, about Fatal Influence, right? Yeah, or Fatal Attraction. I don't fucking Fatal Influence. Fatal Influence. So I would always kind of I didn't really like that they took JC and Fallon and Nyx. I felt like they were all just too different to be thrown. I'm different, they're too different to be thrown into a group together. And Fallon was doing really strong shit with that cowboy stuff. And I felt like Nyx was the influencer girl and she was doing good stuff. And then I thought JC Jane was sort of the punk rock chick and she was doing her thing, right? Little did I know this thing would slowly get over with me week by week by week. And JC's always great. If you go back to early PWT, her and Gigi, I just sing their praises so much. Fallon Henley's great too. And individually, they all, I think, one day would be stars. But Nyx, I kind of shit on her at the start. I was like, I just kind of don't get it. She's just the hot girl. She's not that great in ring. But every week, it just slowly, as they sort of found the chemistry between themselves, it just was winning me over more and more and more. And you could just see each of these women being individual stars in their own rights. But some people, in her mind, she's like, why am I going to bump around? And people are saying it might seem a little oh, of course you just say that. But it's you see some of these other ladies who've quit WWE and are just I can make more money if I play fucking StarCraft 2 and in a bikini and fucking take exclusive pictures. You don't even got to get nude. Enough fucking simps will go and sign up for your shit. It's she's probably just looking at that I could just do that and not hurt myself wrestling all the time, which you always got to put people over if they can. Man, wrestling's a hard fucking thing to do. And you really got to applaud the people who make it to the tippy top because it's really fucking hard to do. And a small finite percentage of people who ever fucking wrestle will be able to make millions and fucking, we're seeing it more and more now, but make millions and have main event manias and all this shit. And I don't know, man. We applaud when dudes get out of wrestling and open successful businesses or whatever, right? So you got to apply the same, I guess, in her situation. And we don't even know, but her boyfriend's a streamer and shit. She already is in this world, and we're gonna play this in a second because some people think she got fired because of this video and her boyfriend being a dumbass. Maybe she didn't get fired. She agreed to not resign or whatever, right? So it's on her and she takes onus of that. But we're going to get into the conspiracy aspect and what some of the wackos / sickos are saying about her release / firing. But sorry, let's get into what she has to say.
As you know,
and it's just flat out why I quit WWE.
As you know, there's been things circulating and I kind of want to just set the record straight that I am not re-signing with WWE. This was a personal decision I had to make for myself and for my future. Personally, the contract that they were offering me for the next 3 years just wasn't going to cut it for me financially, and that's okay. I kind of just wanted to give a backstory of everything. I was playing professional soccer in Iceland, and then I got recruited obviously to WWE which I left everything out there to come here for this opportunity, which I'm very, very grateful for. I was kind of held back a little in the beginning. I had 4 knee surgeries.
Iceland? How many people even live there?
So I had to recover and rebuild my knees in order to step in the ring. And as some of you know, I broke my nose. That's why I was wearing the mask. I had other injuries, concussions that kind of held me out of TV for a little bit. We'll say that there's been a lot of opportunities that I've had to turn down and pass up.
So she's getting all these injuries. It's like, yeah, just go model and make money. You know, it's let's just be honest. Like,
but now that I am out of the job, I can kind of explore these opportunities.
I say the same thing too. Like in AEW, when I'm like, someone dives on Sky Blue and she breaks her leg, and it's like, well, she has like real modeling gigs. Why is she even being used in this capacity? You know what I mean? But it does suck because she could have even, hey, you don't want to. I'm such a proponent of like Nikita Lyons kind of sucks in the ring, guys. Just have her be a valet to a tag team of dudes. Bring valets back. You look at Kiana James and it's like, man, she doesn't even have to do as much as she's doing for Julia. Just have her lay in the cut and glom people with the bag out of nowhere, spray them with perfume in the eyes or whatever. You don't even got to fucking go. She doesn't even have to be wearing a knee brace out there attacking people and shit. Same with Nyx. Like, she could have just been there in the background and fucking cutting promos and shit. But again, when she's like, the money isn't, it's because she has way better prospects. Can't blame her.
More,
you know?
and take them more seriously. Love my Jazmyn Nyx fans. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and having my back for the past 3 years. It's been an amazing journey, and I will miss you guys. And yeah, that is it for Jazmyn Nyx. So thank you guys for watching, and I love you guys
So just out the wrestling biz, you know?
so much.
Yeah. So like I said, she's in the streamer world a little bit, and someone posted this. They're like, Jazmyn Nyx is getting backlash after her and her man laughed at a disabled kid. And then in all caps, that is not okay behavior. Just because your man doing it doesn't mean it's funny. You never know what people are going through. I have ADHD myself. As Joey says, you need to do better. Mind your own. So like, I guess her boyfriend is this streamer guy. Okay. And we're going to play this.
What up, big man? Oh my God, he just fucking growled at me. Oh my God, he just growled at me.
And that's her, like, with him.
He just growled at me. He just growled at me like a fucking dog.
Some people, I'll play an X-Files. People were like, this is resurfacing and she got fired. I don't know, man. She just said she didn't renew, and that's kind of been confirmed. So,
in my this got to be India, huh? It got to be India. Ding a ding a ding a ding.
This got to be India, huh? Ding a ding a ding a ding. This motherfucker here, like, okay, this hacky cornball is streaming and making a living, I'm assuming, out of streaming, or else how the fuck does he get a girl like Jazmyn Nyx, right? You think she can just like step in this world? She's probably a character in his streamer world, and I just don't even know about it, you know?
There's got to be China.
And when I typed in Jazmyn Nyx to get a render of her for the thumbnail, the first thing that came up was Jazmyn Nyx boyfriend was the top search for her on Google as well. I'm just pointing that out. So I don't know. Maybe there's some validity to I don't fucking know. But
and same thing.
So this guy's like, China, Japan, same thing. Oh, fucking phenomenal. Dice Clay over here, this guy.
There's got to be China or Japan. Same thing. That'll be all.
Oh, what do you like, fucking flip a coin? You're Japanese? Oh, good. Like, what the fuck is this guy saying?
They speak English?
Oh, they speak English, dude.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't call me ma'am again,
I'm just fucking brutal. Like, just brutal. Bro, it's just like, you know, bad early fucking late 90s, early 2000 jokes.
I'm from the South. That's what we were using right there on our plantation.
Not that, I don't know. And then plantation, I mean, I don't know. It's not, I don't think it's wrong to talk about a plantation, but in like the context he was, but goddamn, yeah. So some people are saying she's like canceled because her boyfriend and stuff. I don't know about all that, but if you type it in, at least for me, when I was typing in Jazmyn Nyx, it was Jazmyn Nyx boyfriend was the first thing that came up, and I was like, but I didn't click on it. I just typed in Jazmyn Nyx render, So I didn't do research into all of that, but that, ladies and gentlemen, was our latest WWE ex-WWE wrestler, and that was okay. So let me see here. We have such a great show. Round of applause for the PWT universe. You guys are absolutely goated. So we do have a Sicko segment that I want to get into. And there's a couple of EFAP videos that I want to go through with you guys. Okay. What time is it here? Tony's got to be making this announcement soon, right? So we should, I think, the wise thing to do would be lock in for the last 15 minutes and find out what this announcement is, react to it, and then we'll do an infamous Sicko segment. And what I'm going to do, okay, which screen are we sharing? Excellent. What I'm going to do is pour up a drink. Actually, a little Wednesday night beer. How about for this announcement? Might as well. I'm feeling it. How are you feeling, chat? You guys have been incredible. There's been like about 550 between that and 30 sort of fluctuating throughout the evening. Again, you guys are the best. Make sure you come over to YouTube, hit like and subscribe. And I want to react to this announcement. I'm curious, but do you think they squeeze one more match in before? They just forget to do the announcement. Tony gonna announce he has herpes. Oh, come on. That's not very fair to say that Tony Khan isn't healthy. A healthy Tony Khan. That's not very fair, Eric, to say that you don't like a healthy Tony Khan. These streamers have ruined Japan for future foreigner travels. Leave that doofus. Good luck to her. Right? Like this is what he's doing. He's saying like, okay, dude, it's not that there can't be jokes about race and shit that are funny, but he's just saying like the hackiest, easiest. It's like shock bait. Oh, and then everyone, the 12-year-olds in his chat, oh man, that's fucking, you know what I mean? And that's all it is. It's just that Raja Jackson shit. It's cringy, man. It's got to be honest. Please be Rhonda, Alan Thomas is saying. So what do you guys hope it is? Okay, let me look at the poll in the chat, actually. That's what I should do. Poll update. Okay. Let's take a look here. And they're doing replays and shit, which is cool. I'm not going to lie. Those are good for your TV show. Women's tag team titles, 41% say that. 28% say another tournament. 14% say okay, sorry. 41% say a women's tag titles, 28% say another tournament. 3-hour Dynamite is what 17% of you say, and Collision is canceled, 14%. Let's listen. Okay. Oh, it's the women's division. Oh, man. It's so bad.
Exactly. No pop.
This is great.
Oh my god, dude. Of course. The fuck is this? They just look like the guy ones too. Oh my god. Accidentally put the men's tag titles there. My fault. My bad. I accidentally put the men's tag titles. Oh, could someone get the women's ones, please? Holy shit, man. That's fucking humiliating. So what? So the main event's starting now with a 60-minute time limit, and there's 10 minutes left of the show. We're gonna get a 15-minute overrun. Oh my god, dude. He could have announced that. He could have announced those tag titles on that fucking video we watched. The fuck he waste everybody's time with this? Holy shit, man. That's brutal. So is this match for the tag titles? Like, or are they announcing a tournament, or did they say what they're doing? I know, some more belts. We're about to lose the 2 hours of Collision every week, but let's add more belts. Fucking brutal. Yeah, it's women's tag titles. Rabid Wolverine's LC Killer 17 for 2 says, Jesus Christ, AEW sucks so
This guy's
bad. Oh my god. It like hurts my feelings.
Wrestling's for dirtbags and lily pickers.
It really does, man. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, yeah, super chat in, become a member, gift a membership. I appreciate you all for being here. Jump in the Discord, hit like, hit subscribe, all that good shit. We have more to get to. We have a sicko segment. That was the most sicko-ish shit that could have happened. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for nobody's favorite segment, and it is called The Sicko Segment. So we have a couple EFAPs in this sicko segment, okay? But we also have some headlines here. So AEW star Sicko questions why WWE is on ESPN after Triple H kept saying last week that WWE isn't a sport. Check out PWT Podcast, episode 100 with Alfred Kunowa that comes out tomorrow morning, but we recorded it last night and I'm advertising it now. Time Cop! 3 places at once! It's the best movie! And I talked about this a bunch, so go and check that out tomorrow morning. So Meltzer said, what, the GOAT post this? Jesus, even Meltzer doesn't deep throat the Bucks this hard. Where do they find these marks? So this is Uncrowned, and this is Drake Riggs. And Uncrowned, I think, is Ariel Helwani's thing he does with Yahoo. And AEW All Out 25 results awards analysis. Hangman Page retains. Chris Statlander upsets Tony Storm in title. Stunner. AEW's latest pay-per-view lit Toronto Scotiabank Arena afire with an action-packed lineup that includes 5 championship matches. And then he goes on to say, MVP of the night, the Young Bucks. What more can I possibly say about the excellence of the Young Bucks? The value they bring to this AEW wrestling roster is invaluable. They can do anything. Invaluable? They can do anything to me, to my body. They can do anything to my butt. I mean, they can do anything but, well, they are legitimate masters of stipulation, masters of any kind. They are masters of ladder matches in particular, and they are masters of my... They're the masters of up high, and they're the masters of down low. Ooh, this guy's, it's Gold Dust. Gold Dust is writing this fucking... They are masters of ladder matches in particular. They can climb this ladder. Somehow the Jacksons sticking together have never gotten old, despite them both being well capable of having singles runs. They're immaculate. Yeah, this is some fucking honey glazing right here, dude. goddamn Ariel. And they accuse him of being a shill too. And it's like, nah, nay. So, man, it's a funny thing that happened here. One of our fools, okay, Elbu. Backup Hangman, Wrestle Purists post this. Backup Hangman will still be booked to create content for Wrestle Purists. Still be booked to create content for Wrestle Purists. Jesus Christ. WWE, AEW reviews, live streams, deep dives, and whatever our YouTube members want to see. It will be a place where he can review shows and listen to member suggestions for new video streams, etc. So it's like, okay, why are they posting this? And then Elbu goes, someone sent this to me. They're like, I sleuthed what's going on here. And so Elbu's like, thank you for listening to the announcement. Wrestle Purists will always have a place in my heart, but business is business. Subscribe to Self-Made. But fuck them, that's why. Subscribe to Self-Made. And then here's the description. So he launched his own channel and he turned his back. Right? He's a Judas in my mind. And Self-Made is a dynamic wrestling media brand created by, this is fucking ChatGPT shit, created by 4 passionate fans who live and breathe the world of pro wrestling and pop culture. We're not just covering AEW. Hey, we live and breathe pop culture and wrestling. So we listed WWE after AEW.
Master need to obliterate.
Why would anyone take you seriously?
Thank you,
after
fuck
that?
you,
Like,
bye, boom.
Holy shit, bro. And the rest. We're breaking it down, reacting, and connecting it with everything from movies and music to games and trending moments. Whether it's match reviews, wild predictions, deep dive discussions, or just vibing with the latest wrestling drama, Self-Made brings the barbershop talk energy straight to your screen. This sounds like some MTV shit, you know? Built by fans, for fans, we're rewriting how wrestling content is delivered, authentic and unfiltered. Elbu, that's what I'm doing. Oh, so now you're PWT?
Dummy, yeah.
You gotta love it. No, shout them out, man. Show me. And then they posted this Self-Made official press conference. September 18th, a fucking press conference. Whoa.
You fucking mark.
Let's get into our EFAPs. Okay. Let's get into our EFAP portion here. Let me hydrate a little bit, okay? Because I've been going off tonight. What an amazing show. What an amazing show it's been this eve. Who's in the spooky season spirit? Just me? Okay. Or here, I'll check. Yeah, I got a super chat here. I'll check. Thomas Moore for 2 says Mercedes gonna beat Statlander guaranteed soon. Exactly. It's not Tony. It's Stat, but then Tony might be the one to get all the belts off Monet in one swoop. Like she does one job and drops them all, then Tony's got to go around and drop them all or something like that. Or maybe Monet just does lose one by one. Who knows? Let me also check chat. Do they have Halloween in Canada? The Bucks and all their meta BS is painful. Yeah, I can see why WWE isn't interested in 6-man tag titles, even though I mean, I'm not totally against them, you know. Safe made douchebags. Let me scroll up a bit. How do you do, fellow fans? The Bucks should have learned from the Rock and Roll Express. Just be underdog faces. The Bucks have left a couple times, and it has affected hasn't affected. Yeah, dude, the ratings go up, and they fuck up Japan. When they go to Japan, they don't do as well either. Okay, so let's get into our first EFAP of the evening. So. Joey Bryan. Okay. We watched the one video he did where it's like, what is cancel culture? And it's like, bro, this is a topic that is 5 years out of trend to fucking, you know. claim you're canceled. And then we looked it up. I Googled it and we're like, dude, a dozen? What was the number? A dozen or half a dozen accusations, right? And it's just like, I don't know, man. I think maybe like people don't want to see you dick suplexing people and suplexing girls by their titties and stuff. You know, I think that's just a passe thing. And you were going to be one of the main dudes in AEW. And I agree. Like, if people don't want to see you at Disneyland and shit performing, okay, should he be allowed to work at like a tire shop or make YouTube content and shit? Sure, he can do whatever he wants, but it's just like, people don't want you back in wrestling. That's the fans' prerogative. I kept the same energy about Hulkster, even though it's Hulk still rules. If the people are going to boo you and be like, no, fuck you, then that's their right to do that when you buy a ticket to a fucking show. I kept the same energy when people booed Maxine Dupree and everyone fucking hated, you know, you got hated on by wrestlers and shit if you were just like, well, no, they're within their right to boo. Like, imagine what they do in a fucking territory. They throw garbage at you in the 90s still. You know, they're throwing batteries and drinks at you and shit still. Like, how do you deal with that? But she's a girl, okay? You know, she's in the fucking wrestling business. Girls back then maybe even had it worse, dude. They were like sleeping in barns and, you know, look up the Fabulous Moolah Horror Stories, whatever, okay? When people decide they don't want you in something, they don't want you in something. It's just what it is. Joey Ryan said, when my world collapsed, till I collapse, I'm spilling these raps. Long as I thought fighting back would save me. But peace came when I stopped battling others and started working on myself. Episode 8, The Recovery Journey, is out now. So let's head over to his YouTube channel here. 48 views 10 hours ago, 5 likes, 6 comments. Let's read the I don't know, maybe we'll read them after, okay? But here we go. Let's EFAP this. Let's see if we can get through this. Earlier we roasted Tony Khan about like high school drama club. That's how I roasted this the previous one we watched, episode 5 or 6 or whatever. I don't know. I don't look for these, right? If it's in my algorithm, I go, that means it's being pushed for some reason. I'm going to just bookmark this and we're going to make fun of Joey Ryan, essentially. But here's the thing, man. This is some like high school acting class bullshit right here, too. Like, he doesn't feel sincere whatsoever when he's saying this shit. Sorry, let's listen to Joey Ryan.
When my world first collapsed, I got depressed. Then I got
so
angry,
fake.
And I wanted to fight
I
back.
got angry. Yeah, I'm getting angry 6 seconds in because you're fake as fuck, dude.
I wanted to defend myself, to argue, to be combative. Eventually, I realized that all that did was drain the little piece that I had left. So instead, I put my head down and focused on improving myself.
I don't argue with these people who talk shit about me and say that they just don't want me in wrestling and to stop trying to creep my way in. Fuck, you know, I don't listen to those people, man. I just do me. Is that what he's saying? Like, come on, man.
Rather than
I'm a better person than you because I won't argue with you or I won't even engage in this negativity. I'm working on me, which, like, good, work on yourself. But I don't know. Nobody asked clearly based on the views and the engagement on this video.
bring my power and energy into anger.
There's more people watching PWT right now than will watch this video in its entire existence. Okay. And that's not me trying to shit on the little, it's just who asked, bro.
And that shift is really the beginning of my recovery journey.
The
I leaned
tools
on
of
things like
recovery.
therapy and psychiatry, my faith, my family, most importantly, community.
And then
Therapy
and like,
helped me.
yes, bro. Hey, listen, faith, family, community, good, right? Righteous, bro. And I'm right there with you. Okay. Dog, you are just saying this. This is what people do after the quote unquote cancellation. Go with Christ, bruh. You know, they just start, hey, man, it's just leaning into like hoping that what? You'll get a fan base of people that are cool with booking Marty Skrull still, dude. Like,
Learn to sit with my feelings instead of trying to erase them like I did with my divorce. Psychiatry helped me understand things like anxiety and depression and complex PTSD, which explains so much of my behavior at the
why are
time.
you saying it like this?
Faith reminded me that I wasn't on this walk alone. And community gave me a safe place where I didn't have to hide. At the recommendation of a friend, I looked into a 12-step program.
I don't even
that's designed
believe
to
you.
keep individuals accountable for how they act in relationships. At first, I didn't know if it was right for me.
Oh,
but
yeah?
reading the characteristics and seeing myself in almost every line.
Liar!
It's time to try it.
Liar!
It was during COVID
Tell us
lockdown, so
what
my
you
first
know,
meetings
you
were on Zoom.
goddamn
And I
liar!
took some because I wasn't alone in my struggles anymore, and I found language to describe how I was feeling.
This is fucking
But it was also a bit impersonal. Cameras off, people muted. It was hard to connect. When in-person meetings opened back up, everything changed.
It's hard to connect unless people let me grab their dicks. It's kind of hard to connect with them. You know what I'm saying?
I found connection and fellowship. I asked someone to sponsor me through the step work, and the steps is what led me from denial to accountability. The stigma.
I don't know if. No, I'll. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue.
Around 12-step programs is unfair. A lot of people think it's just depraved souls with no self-control, or people who are court-ordered to be there.
No, I don't believe that. But Joey, like, bro, 12-step program. There was 12 motherfuckers who said you did some crazy. You know, like, come on, dude. I mean, there was what, a dozen, a half a dozen? Do I got to ask Grok chat correct me here? But it was a 12-step program, bro. You fucking should be fucking 12 public apologies or whatever, you know?
But what I found was a diverse and welcoming room. Every background, every age, every gender identity, all faiths, all orientations. Addiction doesn't discriminate, and neither does recovery. In recovery,
secrets and shame.
We say we're only as sick as our secrets. And that was true for me. My secrets were keeping me unwell. But every time I told my story honestly, shame lost just a little bit more of its grip on me. My friendships with men have been mostly superficial.
It's so funny.
Competition, ego.
Just shoot from the hip, speak for 2 or 3 minutes. You know, these like chapters and these sections. It's like, bro, what are you trying to like write a book and sell it to some motherfuckers? You're not going to get that audience back. He wants to like put this together and be like, buy my program for $40 a month. Right? To these fucking, to the people who like just support anybody who's like, we're cancel culture or whatever the fuck. We're anti-cancel culture. And then, you know, there's just a certain section of people that will support that automatically.
One-upsmanship. In recovery, I found something new. Men who were honest and transparent.
Dude, men who are I discovered something new. Men who are honest and transparent, unlike me, who's just fucking talking out of my ass right now. And that's why I sound like a theater kid.
Where feelings weren't something to hide, but something to share.
Yeah, like how those women felt when I suplexed them by their titties and then took them to their hotel rooms later.
In the mixed meetings, I listened to women share openly, and I began to understand the fear and the pressure
of having to grab my dick before I suplex them. I started to understand that fear of not getting booked at the show that I fucking run with the Young Bucks, where I flip people with my penis in intergender matches, and you have to partake in that. It could be scary, huh?
And the lack
not
of
getting a job and fucking wanting to make it in the wrestling world, and me, you know, making you grab my dick and then come on, bro. It's so at least he's learning. At least he's
language to even set boundaries that many women face in sexual situations. And some have been conditioned by their past experiences of verbal, physical, or emotional harm from saying no. And I realized that even without trying to leverage anyone, that my unchecked asset.
See, even without trying to leverage anyone, I was like kind of leveraging them with my dick and then suplexing them and then 1, 2, 3, brother. No, but he's like, even though, and then the way he looks away from the camera. Not only is this whole thing insincere, but he's such an insincere prick. Look at this fucking dude. I see right through you, Joey Ryan. You're fucking dead behind those eyes. And look at this. This shit, he looks in the camera the whole time. And he wants you to believe he's sincere, but he's just overacting, bad acting, theater, drama club bullshit. And then he's so insincere about this next part, he fucking looks away. He can't even look at the camera in this fake way he's been doing this whole time up until now.
I know. And I realized that even without trying to leverage anyone, that my unchecked assets, like my persona,
my unchecked assets, like this fake character I played, even though I didn't try to leverage anyone, I did leverage them, but like I'm still I didn't leverage them though. It was like not really me. What the fuck, bro? This is sociopathic shit right here.
or my status, or my influence could become liabilities. And when I failed to maintain healthy boundaries, it caused harm. It was reckless and irresponsible, and I deeply regret it. If I was ever the cause for anyone's pain, I ask that God please heal them and forgive me. The truth is I was.
Oh my God, dude. I ask that God heal them and forgive me. Bro, not like they forget, like I'm sincerely apologetic and I fucked up. Zero accountability. Zero. That's insane, dude. Holy shit.
And when
This
you're
is
in
greebling me out.
pain, you just want your fix. And my fix was intrigue and validation. But just because I was hurting
Oh yeah? Is that what you call it? Intrigue and validation?
you doesn't erase the pain that I caused. And like Maya Angelou once said,
He quotes Maya Angelou. Maya fucking Angelou. How dare you? He's about to quote Maya Angelou, bro. This is fucking hilarious. He's officially okay. Joey Ryan is officially on the list. He is the newest PWT.
You just made the list.
I mean, just incredible. Wow. Lol cow territory if he wasn't already officially.
do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better.
Great quote.
I can't take away any of the pain that I caused. But as a living amends, I can own it and change.
But then why did you ask God to heal them and not what you can do to heal them and get forgiveness? But instead you're like, God, forgive me, please, and heal them. So it's on God now? This ain't God's problem, bro.
One of the steps says we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand God.
Okay, that's enough of that. You guys get the gist of it. What a complete and utter ass clown. That's fucking hilarious. And we have another EFAP in this Sicko segment to get into, man. So whoa, I just got a crazy awesome DM. Oh my goodness. Okay, so wow, that is really cool. Okay, guys, so on to the next segment. So someone posted this in my Discord, right? PWT Discord. The link is somewhere around. Anybody's welcome. You come in, just don't be an asshole. And so someone posted this and I screen grabbed it. I checked out the video. I watched it. It's like, 16 minutes long or something. We'll check out a couple. We'll skim through it. Okay. But Law and Crime Network, this channel has like 7.2 million or 8 million DMs. Jesus Christ. I'm marking out right now or something. Subscribers. Okay. And so pastor's son held 4 people captive in basement for years, police say. And it's a dude in an AEW sweater. And like the definition of a neckbeard, sicko, essentially, right? And this dude is wearing, this is in the thumbnail of this channel with 7.2 million subs or whatever. And when I clicked on this video, it had just dropped and it already had, let's see, 5 hours ago. Yeah. So almost 87,000 views in 5 hours. Like, that's crazy, dude. 7.23 million subs. And Uber Schmoober first ride 50% off. That ad's in there. But yeah, man. So here he is with Luchasaurus and a blurred out face. Tony Khan, right?
The best guys, Tony Khan.
So what I assume happened here was he took a picture with Luchasaurus. Okay, this channel with 7.23 million subs is like, well, we could own that dinosaur guy in court. But they probably just Googled, oh, that's Tony Khan, billionaire with a B. We should fucking blur his face out just in case. But no one can do shit about them showing the logo AEW and something like this, and to convey that he's a wrestling fan. And nobody can, like, Luchasaurus ain't gonna do shit. And also, he dealt with legal shit with his mask already, and he almost had to change it. So. Anyways, Tony Khan, it's hilarious. His fucking face is blurred out there. Like, it doesn't get funnier than that. Here's him getting choked out with a chain with an AEW sweater. At one point, he's also wearing an Undertaker shirt, right? But he doesn't have pictures with Triple H and like Kane or whatever. And this kid held a pastor's son. He held 4 people captive in his basement. Here, I wonder if they forced him to watch old Rampage reruns or not, right? So we'll watch this. We'll skim through this as best we can here on the program.
He's a pastor's son, now accused of confining 4 people in their own hell in his basement. Authorities say he held 4 people against their will, beating them and strangling them inside his home, in some cases for as long as a decade. Police say they found out
Holy shit, dude. A decade?
About the alleged house of horror because one of the people allegedly held captive died. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
That's great.
They center around the man you see here. His name
He's
is
holding up a wrestling sports review wrestling magazine.
Ray Birchfield Jr. He's now under arrest. He's facing several charges. I'll tell you about those in just a moment. Law enforcement has told us, by the way, that more charges could be coming pending the outcome of an investigation that is still ongoing. So let's go back to when the outlet, police determined that the woman who had died inside that house had died actually a day prior to them showing up at Birchfield's home. They say there was also evidence that the woman was physically denied food, water, and medical treatment. This was just the beginning of what law enforcement allegedly found on Birchfield. There were also 3 other people inside this house, and police say they were allegedly being held captive by Birchfield. Now, we found several pictures of Birchfield on social media. It's of him and his family. And in many ways, it appears that he was continuing to live his life publicly as all of this allegedly was happening behind the door of it. Clear at this point who they
That's fucked up. Like how, like it's insane, man.
are. And it's unclear how Birchfield knew them. Now, as far as the 2 women who were allegedly in some kind of romantic relationship with Birchfield, police say one had moved into the house in September of last year. The other, get this, had been in the home, police say, since 2015. We are talking.
Holy bro, that is the ultimate sicko shit, man. That Moxley shit, that's what I mean, dude. Like, it's cool, man. No, it attracts this type of fucking audience.
A decade. Now on Facebook, again, we see Birchfield in pictures seemingly looking like someone.
So here he talks about pro
on
wrestling.
these allegations, calling them gossip. I'll tell you what she had to say in just a moment. What we do know about Birchfield, again, you saw a lot of pictures with him and his family. It appears that he is the son of a Baptist pastor in Lancaster, South Carolina. It also appears he's just a huge
in South North Carolina. Where's Justin Roberts?
Fan of professional wrestling. His social media shows him with several wrestlers.
Dude, he's posing with Tony Khan and Luchasaurus, and he has bitches chained up in his fucking basement, bro. Holy shit.
This one, in some ways, is sadly ironic because you can see a chain around Birchfield's neck. What he's accused of course, in this story, it's not just some gimmick or storyline.
He's wearing an Undertaker shirt right there. He's just an E-drone, man. He's actually an E-drone. He doesn't even like AEW. He actually hates AEW.
is very real. And again, someone died. And the question is, will he face charges for that? Police say the investigation is ongoing.
Investigate what?
As far as at least one person who may be in his corner on social media is his sister, because she posted on Facebook, quote, "Before you share or repost anything about my family, please stop and put yourself in our place. What if it were your son, your brother, or your friend being gossiped about and judged online? Spreading speculation, repeating unverified claims, and adding commentary only causes more harm. It's not helping anyone." Now look, it is true that we have not heard
Today. Yeah, he's interviewing the guy or whatever, and I think they talk more about the wrestling stuff.
Hardworking individual that's smart enough to pick up on it. So that's what really frustrates me and takes it to a totally different level. The word vulnerable. All right. And so again, they go after the people who are easy targets. So talk to, and this is important. If you have family members in these assisted living facilities, retirement homes, you have caregivers in and out of the house, do your research, do background checks. Listen, I was blessed.
Damn, man, that is the most uberest sicko shit maybe of all time. Okay. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I implore you to go and check it out. The entire video. That was our sickos. Ugh, dude, talk about a horror story for Halloween. Give you the fucking heebie-jeebies with that one. What's chat thinking about that? That was pretty crazy, no? Yeah, I don't know, man. Sicko's gonna sicko. But how crazy is it that Tony Khan's like in that picture with that dude? Right? It's pretty nuts. Donnie Ray Birchfield is all no. Can you get the Observer in jail? Dynamite now has 4 less viewers, sadly. Well, there's like 600 people watching this show. So, guys, we're about to get flutes in the chat and make fun of Dave Meltzer for a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips is where I'm live. The replay will be on my other channel, youtube.com/@ProWrestleTimes. And consider checking out my patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes if you support what I do. We're becoming a member for 99 cents, and I do bonus shows every week, every Monday, typically. This week I did it on Tuesday. It was fun. But let's get flutes in the chat, because we had a little bit of everything. I told you guys, a jam-packed show. It's been an amazing one. Ladies and gentlemen, flutes in the chat, because it is time for everybody's favorite segment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
This just in, we have confirmed that Dave Meltzer fears PWT and flutes.
So Switchblade posted some numbers here. AEW All Out peaked at 2.1K live viewers on YouTube last night, down 60%, Brian, from Forbidden Door, which peaked at 5.2K and is more in line with the 1.3K that Slammiversary did. So Double or Nothing did 6.6. All In did 9.6. I think I called that earlier. Forbidden Door 5.2K. Why is this important? Because Dave doesn't really ever talk about these YouTube numbers because he doesn't understand them. But essentially, if you're in the chat during a pay-per-view, YouTube's the number one streamer. Like, you've likely bought that pay-per-view. You know what I mean? And I don't know if anybody's buying pay-per-views for that Tony Khan announcement about the fucking tag titles or whatever, but hey. Yeah, so this, there was zero hype on this pay-per-view. And Dave and Brian try and spin it like WWE got taught a lesson or something, and we're going to listen to it and react to it and watch it all right here. So Dave Meltzer said the AEW show was outstanding, Brian. So here's their review of All Out.
The AEW show was outstanding. I was pretty disappointed in the WWE show. Not that it was bad, but I just thought that for a first show on ESPN, I just thought it was just like, you know, like it was just a B show, you know.
Now, if you guys, I went in depth with this with Alfred Konuwa as well, because, you know, he's a writer for Forbes. And so I talked to him about like Andreas Hale and how he's like leans sicko direction, right? But I'm like, it doesn't trigger me, man. In fact, they should let him keep reviewing shit, for ESPN. Who cares? He rated WrestlePalooza C. And it's so funny because right before that, I played the clip of Dave, and we laughed at it already on the show. But when Dave was like, oh, it's like separating church from state. It's like Russian media, Brian. It's just fake news now. It's all, the state of media is horrifying, Brian. And then the ESPN grades their own shit a C. It couldn't have blown up in Dave's face more. It's so funny. Always let fools make fools of themselves.
I mean, one of my rules was always I never watch WWE after I watch New Japan because it always looks so soft and slow.
Dude, that's his rule. It's always just soft and slow. Yeah, that's why Ibushi, Shibata, Omega, Osprey, they're all fucking like neck injury, body injuries. They can't walk and shit. Because your way's better, Dave. The WWE way is not more entertaining to more people because they're not a shark brain monster like you.
It was always, I never watch WWE after I watch New Japan because it always looks so soft and slow if you watch it after. It's not like it's bad. I didn't not enjoy any match on the WWE show, but they were just like, they couldn't match the other stuff. But in a way, it's like the crowd was there and the crowd saw it as a big deal.
On the first ESPN show,
the crowd saw it as a big deal. Dude, it was a big deal. Okay, it just didn't live up to the hype, even of like the Netflix Raw. Okay, it just didn't, unfortunately. You win some, you lose some. They're talking like fucking AEW blew them away. There was like 12 too many matches on the AEW show.
Don't think you should have run a story-heavy show. You might have a lot. Like, I went over to my sister's house. My brother-in-law is watching. He never watches wrestling. He's watching this show. And he's watching.
Here's the thing, man. The story-heavy show, you do that to get people really invested and to go, oh, I have to see what happens next, and I got to get ESPN to do it. So I get that, like, you don't understand that because you guys are stupid and don't understand how this fucking business works and shit. But again, it's like the bottom line, bro. Come on. They want people invested and to go, I need to watch more because I'm invested in these characters. You can't just only do that with wrestling and lighting people on fire.
The AJ match, he's bored out of his...
And chaining people up in your basement, forcing them to watch Collision.
Fine. He's like, oh my God, this match is never ending. And it's like, that's not, I don't think... The show that you should have given the first time on ESPN should have been more just boom, boom, boom. Some more exciting matches. Don't tell stories that have been told on TV for 6 weeks. You might have new people. I just kind of felt
you might have new people, so just do matches. Oh, you mean like AEW's done and they've fallen off a cliff? Brian, you're trying.
Brian.
But not in the right way, dude.
Like it was way more storytelling oriented than usual. And I don't like that for a first show.
I love storytelling. I just thought
you fucking liar. Oh my God.
Poor people don't like AEW.
Dave, I love storytelling, Brian.
The matches were average.
Oh boy. So ESPN graded WWE WrestlePalooza C. And it's just funny. I just wrote Dave Meltzer having a meltdown about how it's all a conspiracy and WWE ESPN will control the media and everything's changed. And they rate their own shit a C. I think that's the funniest thing ever. So moving along here, Meltzer said what the GOAT says. Alvarez knows it was not Nick Khan who said Tiffany Stratton was hurt. He specifically discussed this on Saturday night's Wrestling Observer Radio with Dave. So El Plethora says, I think Nick Khan claimed it was pulled because they ran out of time. Nick Khan or agent Nick Lopiccolo. And Alvarez knows it was not Nick Khan. Yeah, I think it was Nick Lopiccolo who said that Tiffy was being, or I don't even know if he said that. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. All I know is that I'm going to trust whatever Meltzer said what is putting down here. So it was believed that Stratton was to wrestle Jade Cargill and Nia Jax at a 3-way at WrestlePalooza. However, this match is now scheduled for Friday SmackDown. Alvarez said, I think Nick Khan claimed that it was pulled back because they ran out of time. Tiffany was hurt. I presume she's going to wrestle on Friday. It was not pulled because, etc. And here's, I guess here's Meltzer said what, pulling his card and saying, no, dude, you lied in your shit.
All right, we got one more show to talk about, which is the anniversary show.
One thing we should talk about is the 3-way that'll, in theory, be on SmackDown on Friday was supposed to be on the show tonight, and so there's different stories. What I will tell you is
This would be Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax.
right. So Thursday, I was told that the match will be on if Tiffany Stratton is cleared, and then on Friday,
He was not told any of this.
it was like they're going to announce tonight what they do, which was they announced the match for next week rather than on the show. So that was that. I know that Tiffany's agent says that she was not injured.
Tiffany's agent, Niccolo Piccolo.
And that it was a timing.
Is Tiffy public with Paradigm and shit? If she's not, then she is now.
The timing issue that she was taken off the match on Tuesday for NXT.
And so Brian was told it was her agent, not Nick Khan. But then Brian misremembered. Brian, when he wrote it, or when they quoted him, or when he went on his own show, he misremembered. He just remembered the Nick part and then assumed Khan.
I am not arguing that point, because to me that is it could be true. But when was the last time? Because the thing is, it's not like the T-shirts that were
What? What the fuck? What? Hold on. What am I missing?
The thing is, it's not like the T-shirts that were being sold in the building for the card had that match on the card. So it's not like some fantasy of, they changed, maybe they changed it a week ago. They didn't even shoot the angle until last week, okay? And I have seen, for a lot of shows, for WrestleManias and everything, I've seen like actual times. These times, and this is like the Thursday, the week before Mania.
Pro Wrestle Times, Brian.
Shorter, and the times that all the matches are going.
Oh, man. The gooberdom never ends. Oh, boy. Yeah, well, Brian I think he got mixed up with his people there. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The latest on John Cena losing to Brock Lesnar. Dave says, I don't want to say it was John's idea. I don't want to say it was John's idea. You don't know if it was or not. But what I was basically told is, so were you basically told, or were you told this, or I don't understand. John is very unselfish, and he knows on the way out he wants to make people. He wants to make big stars, so he felt that it was his call, and that was his call. This is the worst Meltzer lie I've maybe ever seen.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Because he doesn't know, and then he make a big star. Bro, Brock is a fucking huge, ginormous star already. So what the fuck you talking about? A lot of guys, when they're on their way out, their call is to lose and to put the other guy over, and that was John's call. At the end of the day, it's Paul Levesque's call. But you just said it was John's call 14 times. But if John says that, it's not like Paul Levesque's going to go, no, you have to win, especially when Brock is the one staying and he's the one leaving and whatever they have planned for Brock, Brian. What a goddamn moron. Speaking of moron, Meltzer said, what? Calls out Dynamite Dave Lucha Libre Meltzer for being a dummy. And he says, I told you months ago that Dave decided that he was going to anoint Mystico as Wrestler of the Year to his trained seals of voters. And now here he is once again swaying his totally impartial voting process. And so, wrestlers ranked in the PWI 500, Drainmaker posts AEW New Japan CMLL wrestlers. And Moxley, Hangman, and Hiroki Goto are on the list. And Dave goes, it is what it is. Dude, it's a gimmicked list, and Dave is getting worked up over it like a baby ass. He's fucking sad about this. What it is. We'll only say this. Writes a fucking paragraph. By their standards, hard to argue Mystico shouldn't be number one. Mystico #1, except he's not American. Very good in the ring. Actually, not the best, but but as far as being over and except winning matches, wrestles more than anyone. Almost always main event. Almost never loses. Wins clean far more than anyone. Held world titles in multiple companies. Didn't lose either in the ring. Won Opera Cup and other tournaments. I don't know if they consider drawing power, but that's a major plus for him. Dave thinks Mystico's more popular than Roman Reigns. He said that before. If you say Roman Reigns in a theater, no one knew who he was. No one would know. So this guy says, is he the front runner for the Flair Thez Award in my mind? He has to be either him or Moxley. Mystico or Moxley for the fucking Flair Thez Award. Dave goes, I think so. I see Moxley, Rhodes, Mystico, and Page as the only potential winners. Ospreay may win outstanding, but injury will keep him from the Thez Flair. Why would injury keep him from the Thez? Well, he didn't wrestle for 3 months, but he accumulated more 5 stars than anyone in the history of the business that you've ever given over the last 50 years. Dave is a restart, and it fucking drives me insane. I'm going fucking crazy, chat. So he goes, Storm and Kamatani and Sky couldn't place well as could Punk and Rollins, but I don't see any of them winning. Oh my god, fucking Mystico, bro. Shut up, Mystico. So Dynamite Dave is as subtle as a cockroach crawling across a white rug. And Meltzer said, what? Shout him out, man. He's always fucking sending me muy gold. And so here's a screen grab. Justin Wang says he didn't have enough matches to qualify. And so Meltzer goes, based on that criteria, actually, Mystico would have to be #1. Because they're talking about Rhodes hasn't wrestled enough. Well, based on that, actually, Mystico would have to be #1. Bro, it's a gimmicked list.
As a cockroach crawling across.
It's so goddamn funny. Earlier in the show, I'm like, if the C grade or the PWI 500 or whatever the fuck triggers you, you're entering sicko wacko territory. Davis, you're triggered about this gimmicked list. It's a fake list based on kayfabe. But in kayfabe, Brian. So an update has been, this is according to Brian Alvarez, okay? He says there's a concern that it could be career-ending injury. And so basically, Piper Niven, we covered this earlier. We covered this actually on Member Monday. So make sure you become a member, 99 cents. You get access to bonus shows once a week. And also, it's typically on Monday. We talked about this. Piper Niven, best wishes, all of the best energies. But it could be career ending. It's like a neck thing. There's just so many rumors flying around. We'll find out. And I said it once and I'll say it again. Piper Niven will always have like a coaching role or something as well. Because this is the risk you run, but she is a good mind, and she was sought after like in the indies and in the European scene and shit. So she's definitely somebody who you want to have on your roster in some capacity, even if that means behind the screen. And I wonder who's going to join Chelsea Green's faction, but it's unfortunate that we have to go like, there's light at the end of this tunnel, I guess, right? Like, who's going to replace her? Let's get excited for that. It kind of feels shitty, but I don't know. I'm sure Piper just wants to get healthy and wants everybody to be sports entertained. So should AEW run more afternoon? We have some clips to finish off the show. Okay, so let's start with this one. Meltzer said, what posts this clip? And he asks, have you ever seen a human being look and sound so defeated when discussing WWE's attendance and ticket revenue they're generating as Dynamite Dave does in this video? Let's take a look.
The attendance is good whether John Cena's on the show or not.
He sounds so angry whether he's on. I mean, even if John's not on the show, they're fucking crushing it.
He had a big, they're drawing people at higher ticket prices than ever before. The demand for tickets is the highest it's ever been.
Oh my god, you want to talk about the Mania ticket prices? We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
So WrestleMania.
But if AEW was doing the same, he'd go, see, I told you so. They put WWE out of business. Tony Khan, the best guy. They're selling it for more and more, well, here's the problem. That poor people
poor people don't like AEW.
What a dumb fuck, man.
Mania this year. If you want to buy,
he's just so sad about it. You think he'd be happy that wrestling's thriving and shit. Should AEW run more afternoon pay-per-views? Nick Khan, in his own weird way, did AEW a huge favor. So again, they're trying to spin this and gaslight their audience into thinking that Nick Khan and WWE did some service to AEW. How? The interest was down, the views were down, the YouTube views were down, the pay-per-view buys were down. The show was on earlier. No one gives a fuck. No one was talking about it on social media. All anyone was talking about was WrestlePalooza still, even in a negative way. It was just sickos crying about WWE. And then Cage Match, 18 people on Cage Match rated it a 90% or whatever. So, like, what are you guys talking about?
Three straight pay-per-views did good. Three straight
pay-per-views did good. 3 straight pay-per-views. Dave, you're a fucking liar. Show us the pay-per-view numbers. He's lying about them. He's going to lie and say they're over 100,000. Meanwhile, we saw the YouTube numbers, which is a good way to indicate interest in something, right? So it doesn't mean it's precise and accurate. All Out had no buys.
Pay-per-views in the afternoon. This was a 6-hour show. That last hour of the show, which was the Page match, if you would start at the normal time, that's midnight to 1 a.m. And that's no fun.
Or just don't do that. Yeah, it's no fun anytime it's 6 hours. No wrestling show should be fucking 6 hours, bro.
You can go longer, and it's also better for your...
No, you can't go longer, Dave. You go longer because you're like, I'm going to set aside my whole fucking day for this.
And it's not so bad for the United States and Canada either, especially if there was no WWE show.
He's so in a bubble. It was so bad for everybody.
It really wouldn't have been that bad. Results are results. I'm pretty convinced now that they should be doing 3:00 Eastern starting time. You get the thing over by 9 or 8. I think it was over at 8. You get it over at 8. You got plenty of time to go out at night on a Saturday night or whatever.
Nobody, like, Dave is he doesn't exist in the real world. Nobody's watching AEW for 6 hours all day, then going out at night. Especially when WrestlePalooza is on, Dave. You're a dumbass. You're inventing shit that nobody fucking agrees with in your head, speaking it like it's fact, and then gaslighting your fucking audience into thinking what? They believe you? This is ridiculous.
Whereas if you do the thing from 8 to 1, it's
like he's pretending that people, you can watch AEW, then just go out. Why would you watch WrestlePalooza? Are you fucking stupid, bro? More people are watching WrestlePalooza. More people watch WrestlePalooza. Oh, you can just, go out after. Nobody's watching AEW all day, then going out after, Dave. They're going to fucking buy that pay-per-view or watch it after. They're going to watch WrestlePalooza live before AEW. He's acting like he speaks as though AEW is more popular than WWE. It's insane.
Plenty of time to go out at night on a Saturday night or whatever. It's not, whereas if you do the thing from 8 to 1, it's, it gets really tiring. I think Nick Khan, in his own weird way, did them a huge favor by moving them to the afternoon. There's a lot of advantages.
How is it a huge favor? Did the attendance go up? Nope. Did the sales go up? Nope. Were the Cage Match ratings the same? Yep. Did you glaze its balls like you fucking always do? Yep. So, like, what is the huge advantage? Oh, it's a huge advantage for me and my work. What a fucking clown shoes, man. So Dave Meltzer, speaking of clown shoes, he goes, Will Ospreay's surgery was a success. Can he be back for Wembley? So this guy just got neck surgery, fucking ended his goddamn career almost, might not be able to wrestle again, at least not in the way he did. Dave gave him more 5 stars than ever. Then Dave's begging him, oh, please work a Roman Reigns, a slower style. I'll do it better than anyone in the world. Ospreay. Right? And now he wants this guy after this brutal neck surgery. Oh, hopefully he can make it back in Wembley in time for Wembley. Dave is the ultimate sicko. He's fucked up in the brain, and he doesn't care about these wrestlers. Okay? I care about these wrestlers way more than Dave does.
Will Ospreay had his neck surgery. He tweeted about it.
He had the surgery. The surgery was a success, and it's a waiting game. That's all it is. I mean, we don't know. He's going to have to rest for a while. Then he's going to have to start, training. It's again, no timetable, but likely a year plus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure his target would be Wembley next year. That's 11 months, which I think is, I don't know about. I mean, I don't know about that one.
Will Ospreay.
Dave just would come in his pants if he made it back in time for Wembley. So here is Dave Meltzer's take on the Tate Twins accusing Tony Khan of pulling the Outrunners from an independent show. So let's hear what fucking Dusty Dave has to say about this. I went off on this earlier in the show.
What's up with the Tate Twins and the Outrunners?
So the Tate Twins, who are suing AEW, were booked on an independent match in Kentucky against the Outrunners. And they claim that Tony Khan pulled the Outrunners from the date, and the show, in fact, has been canceled because the Outrunners were pulled from the show. And I guess the promoters felt without them.
So that's very Tony McConish, right? So call it out, Dave. Call it the fuck out.
Runners were pulled from the show, and I guess the promoters felt without them, it wasn't going to be a successful event, and they couldn't replace them. So they were very much complaining about that. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if you're Tony Khan and you're being sued by the Tate Twins, you probably don't want your talent to be working with them on an independent show. But
right, but here's the thing, man. If Vince was doing this, you guys would be crying about it. It's just bullshit, you know. They say they're all about the indies, Brian. Okay, that's what Tony Khan said as well, and that's what the Tates are suing them over. And again, you're just going to make excuses for Tony Khan when it's very Vince-ish. And here's the thing. It is Tony's well within his right to do this, but a whole show got canceled. Where's the doom and gloom? If WWE got a whole show canceled, everyone would melt the fuck down in the IWC because of you, Dave.
An independent show, but you know, that's what they claim. And, you know, I haven't heard anything from anybody else, but it is
the fucking hair dye's leaking into his face.
I haven't heard anything from anybody else, but
the fucking fumes, dude.
It is a believable assertion.
What's up with the tape?
It is well, at least he says it's a believable assertion. But again, it's a believable assertion. A believable assertion, dude. Not like, yeah, it seems if it was Vince, he'd be like, if it was Triple H, it's pretty cut and dry, Brian. Case closed. Here it's just an assertion. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week. Oh man, chat, where are we at here? We've almost gone 4 hours. Thomas Moore for 2 says Meltzer Roach. Dude, you already know how it goes over here, right?
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
And so is this episode of PWT. Man, there's like 600 of you guys watching. I've been going live for like 4 hours almost. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips, youtube.com/@ProWrestleTimes. My second channel is where the replay will be. Thank you guys so much we're on the way to like 7,200 subs and 2,100 on the other channel. So round of applause for the PWT universe. We fucking crushed it. We fucking crushed it. An amazing show. And thank you all for being here, man. I had a spectacular time. Sicko Saturday is going down. Maybe we could go live for TNA SmackDown Victory Road. I think shit's going to pop off, man. And yeah, tomorrow night, make sure you guys are watching TNA because it might be pre-taped or it could be a live one. But if it's pre-taped, maybe they have some NXT shit, maybe not. But either way, thank you guys. I had such a blast tonight. Get in the Discord, support, become a member, all that good shit. Join my Patreon. Patreon's fun. New video every single week. This week I got another Tough Enough video being uploaded. Appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, I'll see you all in the Upside Down. Happy spooky season, guys. Peace.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, it would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call this problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. We call this problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild! Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
Damn it, God damn it.